at Jewellery Maker. Wow, buy one, get one for £2 this evening. Again, you know, for those more affordable venues, if you wanted to create kind of pocket money priced jewellery, these are the perfect bundles to invest in, aren't they?
And what I really like about this bundle that it's real howlite.
Yes.
Because sometimes we have white magnesite, which is nice, but it's really nice to have the real McCoy.
The real deal. Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Actually, I remember the first time we ever did a Jewellery Maker show on Rox TV. So we were kind of doing our products, but to the American audience on Rox TV. Steve Bennett, the owner of the company, was presenting, and I was producing the show, actually. And he couldn't believe that it wasn't howlite. He kept calling it howlite. I was like, Steve, it's down magnesite.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And he's like, oh no, it looks too much like howlite. But as you say, you want the real deal, don't you? And that is exactly what we've got as part of this particular bundle. Buy one, get one for £2. That means you're getting both strands for less than £10. £4.50 a strand for these particular deals. Glorious graduation. Again, the gemstone strands are doing all the work for you. You can literally restrand these and you've got two perfect necklaces. You could even just alternate them, so then you could have one to wear, one to sell. You're bound to make a huge profit off the back of this particular deal. £4.50 a strand. Can't say better than that. It's another add it to your order deal. So if you have got that P&P up and running, why not make the most of just £2.95 for a 24-hour period? We're going to leave that on with you, and we're going to move on to our next deal. Don't forget, another very, very exciting deal coming up in just 20 minutes time, because we have the paracord bundle. We are going to launch this bundle in 20 minutes. In fact, it's a paracord party, and I hope you've RSVP'd. Otherwise, if your name's not down, you're not coming in. There's only so many to go around. I know how popular the paracord is as a threading material, as a discipline in its own right these days, I suppose.
Groups actually starting and, you know, getting
just
members
focused
on paracord from the back of the show, so it's really good fun.
Amazing. Yeah. And both sides to clasp. That's the key thing about this bundle. It's coming up in less than 20 minutes, so we better crack on. We've got a few more deals to fit in. Oh, we've had a message in from one of our lovely customers. It's coming from Thelma. This is great show. Favourite presenter and designer.
Oh, that's very kind.
That's very, very kind. Mark gets that every time he's on screen.
Should we blow Thelma a kiss?
Sorry?
Should we blow Thelma a kiss?
Yes, I like that.
I'll go first. No, you.
I like that, Thelma. I like that. Thelma, you can come back. Okay. Time for pick of the week, is that correct? Oh yes, I've been admiring these all day actually since I arrived. Now, pick of the week basically means it was launched quite recently, in the last sort of 7 to 10 days traditionally. But these particular items don't seem to hang around for very long, if I'm honest with you, partly because of the number of disciplines and genres they fit into, partly just because of how beautiful they are. Huge carat weights. $700 carats in total, in fact. Now, you will get slight variations on the number and the shapes and the size you get. It is all based on that carat weight, but guesstimation, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 11 in this one. Doesn't mean you're going to get 11, but it gives you an idea of how many you will get. Now, bloodstone is a variety, I believe, of jasper, and it has those very similar banding on the surface of it. Got those gorgeous earthy colour tones, the forest greens, those kind of mustard golden tones, the mauve shades, violet tones. And the bloodstone was very famously used by ancient Romans. So it does have a very rich history and tradition attached to it. Of course, the ancient Romans were one of the early civilizations that adopted these gemstones as, you know, items they would revere within their jewellery. And I love the colour tones here. I just think they're going to fit into so many different designs. Bloodstone is also known as a heliotrope, apparently. Now, I think one of the reasons the cabochons are so popular is because they do tend to fit into some of our most popular disciplines. So wirework artists are very easily able to integrate these into pendant designs or wirework rings, especially with the variety of sizes you've got in this one. I mean, that is crying out for a Laura binding pendant design, and the colour tones are so Laura binding as well, those earthy colour tones. However, you've also got some which would make perfect wirework rings. I think cabochons kind of rose in popularity when we started to demonstrate the soutache designs, I suppose. That's when they really came to the forefront, right, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
For a while, I think some people are a little bit intimidated by the cabochons because they didn't have a drill hole, but now it's not just soutache, wirework, but think about the macrame settings. Those beautiful macrame settings, which does allow the gemstone to be the focus of the design. Would you go along with that?
No, absolutely, that's right. And on the new wire macrame workshop that we've got coming up at the end of this month, I believe,
yeah.
In the afternoon we focus on cabochon wrapping using 2 different types of macrame, a 6-strand and a 3-strand.
Okay.
So it's brilliant fun.
Oh,
really
so again,
fun.
there's huge amounts of potential for these items.
Absolutely. That's right, yes.
Oh, people already flying through for this. We had fewer than 20 to begin with, Mark.
Okay.
You know how popular the cabs are. Oh, we've also got people queuing up on the phone lines. We're going to have to bring the price point on the screen. Thank you, Samantha. Sam's just found this. $21.95 for 700 carats.
Gosh.
This is a different cabochon, but it's been set into a traditional macrame setting. I mean, you could set them into a wire setting and elevate the design, or you can use the cords.
Yeah. This is kumihimo, using the flat braid disc.
Okay, so there you go. We're all learning this evening. Oh, we're approaching single figures of availability, and more people are still coming through on the free phone number. It looks to me like this could be a sellout deal. In fact, some people are multi-buying this item. Single figures remaining in stock. I'm not really surprised because you do get this huge variation. We've talked about the number of disciplines they actually fit into, and with this collection you've got an item for every piece of jewellery that you want to design. You've got some that are large enough for pendants and feature pendants at that, others that are perfect for solitaire ring designs. Actually, you could even fit these into a kind of cuff bangle design, couldn't you? Oh, okay, if everybody was to check out their baskets, we have very few of these remaining in stock. I was just thinking, the cuff bangles are really popular for wire workers, aren't they? And they tend to just have a feature stone.
That's right, absolutely.
These would be perfect, wouldn't they? And because you've got these colour tones that are quite neutral, really, aren't they? They have points of interest, but they're quite neutral, so they're going to go with virtually any outfit as well, from a fashion point of view, because you know me, Mark.
You like your fashion,
I'm a fashionista. Okay, we're going to have to move on from that one, because I think it could be a sellout deal. Ooh, look at this. One of the big 5. If you don't know what I'm referring to, we have 5 very, very prestigious gemstones that we tend to think of being the big boys of the jewellery world, the most luxurious, the most sought after for collectors and for jewellery wearers, of course. And they are diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, tanzanite and rubies. And that's exactly what we've got for you here, and this is out of this world. This is what you imagine when you think of this gemstone. You've got this beautiful colour tone. I mean, I have said this in the past, but there's only one way to describe this, and that is ruby red. The depth of colour is just exquisite. And this is 100% natural, exactly as Mother Nature intended it. Roughly 80% of all rubies will have gone through some sort of fissure filling process where the gemstone is kind of injected with glass just to repair any inclusions that you find inside the gemstone. Not these. 100% natural, and yet you've got that depth of colour. And because of that depth of colour, because of the way it's been faceted, have a look at this fantastic lustre. Look at that. Look at the way it's sparkling. It is gorgeous. Such a regal gemstone, of course. Oh, now, there are people already showing an interest in this particular strand. It comes from our Gems of Distinction range. That's our elite quality gemstones. It's generally sourced by our Indian buying office. And that's because they're based in Jaipur. This is where most of the gemstone trading goes on. This is where we are able to negotiate very, very low prices for top quality gemstones. We pass those savings on to you. And unfortunately, or fortunately I should say, for the first 10 people to come through on the phone lines, you will be successful. Now, there's already people showing an interest in this, so you could say that if those people confirm, we only have single figures remaining in stock already. 10 carats of beautiful ruby. I mean, it may be that you've done a lot of work towards the end of 2014 for your Christmas craft fairs, for gifts, for example. Wow, somebody's grabbed 2 strands of this. And maybe you're thinking that 2015 is your year to treat yourself. How beautiful would it be to have some gorgeous rubies within your collection? I'm thinking alongside the champagne pearls.
I'm thinking of 4 weeks Saturday.
What's 4 weeks Saturday, Mark?
14th of February.
And what are you going to be doing that day? You told me in the office. You're going to be suited and booted, aren't you?
Yeah. Going to be sharing 4 hours with the lovely Lucy.
There we go. Mark and Lucy are going to be doing a special Valentine's show.
Yes.
You'll be in your tux and she'll be in her ball gown.
I think we're going to call it the Smooch Show.
How romantic.
Yes.
I love it. Well, the interesting thing about the depth of colour you've got on these rubies as well is that if you did team them up with the golden tones, you start to draw some of those purple hues from the rubies as well. The most valued rubies in the world do possess that rich purple hue, as well as the ruby reds, the pigeon blood reds as they're traditionally referred to. That doesn't sound as romantic as people would like, but that is an industry term. But I have to say, when it comes to this strand, for me, it's all about the sparkle as much as the colour.
Amazing faceting, isn't it?
Just incredible, aren't they? When you consider that they are very, very delicate, they range in size from 2x1 to 4x2 mil. Yeah, it's such a precise art to actually facet them in this way. You can see how limited in availability these actually are. They've flown out the door when they were originally launched. Now could be your last opportunity to add these to your order. 30-day money-back guarantee here at Jewellery Maker. So even if you are umming and ahhing, make sure you get it home, see it in the flesh. You're going to fall in love with it instantly. 10 carats of beautiful, rich red rubies. Should be, that's right, I said it, should be $49.95. Now, I'm not entirely comfortable with that turn of phrase, actually, because there's no way 10 carats of ruby faceted to this standard should be $49.95, but that's the price we give you here at Jewellery Maker. Catching flies again, that's rude of me. A £15 price reduction on rubies of this quality. Wow. All I'll say is, if you're placing these in your basket, check out immediately, because we do now have a lot of buyers coming through on the free phone number. $34.95. I mean, if you've already got an order up and running this evening, I would literally add these to my order, get them home. How about if you're a July baby and you want to treat yourself to some birthstone jewellery? How amazing would that be? $34.95. Actually, shall I tell you, this is just a classic combination. Can't go wrong. If you came through for those beautiful luxury white pearls, which I think we've got single figures of availability remaining on those as well. So if you've just started your order, off the back of the clearance price on the rubies, I would probably suggest
just alternate them exactly as you said. That would just be beautiful.
Gold-plated sterling silver clasp, I assume.
I'm thinking of a really glitzy cat collar.
Oh!
You can imagine the white James Bond cat wearing
I can
a collar made of that combination. That'd be amazing.
Funny you should say that, actually, because when I did a little bit of research into pearls recently, I discovered that Elizabeth I had her pet a choker made
that's right.
of pearls and rubies.
Yes, that's right.
So there you go. Okay, very, very limited availability remaining on that one. 2 strands left on that one, $34.95. I can't believe the price point that we've offered you on that one. We are going to move on. Okay, yeah, oh, fantastic. I'll tell you what, if you are working with the pearls, with the rubies, maybe you are attending one of those kind of stately home type venues for your craft fairs, you've got to be presenting your jewellery designs appropriately. Look at these ruby and gold coloured hemp bags. Look at this, Mark. Is this the kind of item that you think would add value to your designs?
Without a doubt. It would just be whether you would give them as a complimentary gift with your jewellery, or whether you'd actually charge.
Tag a little charge on there.
Yeah.
Jan and I did a craft fair show, I think it was like the 28th of December, and she was saying whenever she attends craft fairs, it's kind of the done thing now is to say, if somebody's spending over a certain amount, then you offer the bag complimentary.
£30 with me.
£30. Oh, so yes, so this is a common trend.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, for about that, I mean, how much would you pay in a craft store for something like that if you could find it?
Well,
probably a hefty price, I reckon. So you could say, oh, I've just heard, okay, that's good information. My producer said they're going to be less than £1 each. So even if you did add just a simple charge of just £1, you'd still be making profit, and of course you'd be endearing yourself to your.
They're going to last forever, those bags, aren't they? I mean, they're really strong, thick. They're double lined as well, aren't they? They've got lining.
They are
inside.
Indeed. They are.
Gosh.
So
for less than £1, you won't find that anywhere else.
No. Yeah, I trust you, Mark, because I sense you're speaking from experience there.
Yes.
So you get 10 of these. As part of this particular item. I mean, they are beautiful, aren't they? You can imagine. They actually have a really almost medieval-like feel to them for me.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yes, so you're having a medieval wedding this year for your party favour bags. I mean, they would be amazing, wouldn't they?
I can imagine Sammy
Yes.
presenting jewellery in these at her kind of gothic craft fairs. They just have this kind of Renaissance-like feel to it. I can imagine somebody in a suit of armour throwing a bag of silver coins at me from one of these bags. Oh, of course. Good memory. Producer Liam saying that Fleur, of course, sells at Renaissance fairs, doesn't she? These would be perfect for those kind of venues as well. Okay, lots and lots of interest coming through for this particular item. It's $7.95 for all 10. Less than £1 per bag. I love it. So if you spend over £20–30 on an item, you get the piece of jewellery presented in one of these beautiful bags. And it is all about attention to detail with, you know, bespoke jewellery design, luxury items. It's about the experience as much as the piece of jewellery people are investing in, I suppose. They want to feel luxurious.
I like the idea that I had of having them as tooth fairy bags.
And I would also say there's a lot of hobbyists who will be screaming at the TV now, telling me off, saying, Ed, I don't sell my designs. If you're creating gifts for loved ones, how beautiful to give it in such an appropriate looking bag, especially ruby jewellery, because more often than not, if you did go on the high street or to a craft store, for example, to try and find something like this, you might find a little bit of branding here or there. You know, the company that's made it wants their name out there. But you haven't got any of that with these. They are really nondescript, aren't they? They're really subtle and yet very luxurious.
They're beautiful. I'm in the middle of getting myself G'd up to start a website this year. I'm going to go for a proper website, and I can just imagine those as a backdrop for your photographs. So you have your necklace pouring out of the bag, draped across the bag. That would make a really nice background for a photograph, wouldn't it? I think. And that would just look really nice. Nice backdrop for your jewellery.
Oh,
just putting it out there.
That's my New Year's resolution as well, Matt.
What's that?
To launch my
my
website. Yeah. Okay, now over half the stock's now been allocated on those beautiful hemp bags. Okay, I think it's about time. I think everybody's had time to get home from work now, because I have had a few messages today saying I've managed to remotely record the show, Ed, because I don't get in till 5:30. So we've held back on the paracord launch until 6 p.m. It's star by time. Welcome back to Jewellery Maker. Time for another star buy, and this is very, very exciting. I think Mark and I are equally as excited as everyone at home to be bringing this paracord bundle. We were actually lucky enough to premiere some of these varieties of paracord on our New Year's Eve show, weren't we?
Indeed, yes.
I'm lucky enough to actually own Jewellery Made with this. We've renamed it.
We have.
The Reptilian paracord. I'm wearing it. That's right. I haven't taken it off since, Matt.
I think you might change your mind when you try on the one that I made today.
I like that's try on. I do like that one. So the one that you've created over there, the little reverse one, features these two colours, the silver and the navy blue.
Yes, that's right. Yep, I'll bring it across.
These are the colour tones that you get. I mean, this is the great thing about paracord. It is very, very appropriate for masculine style jewellery, if you see this piece. And it's funny because I was just saying to Mark yesterday, I went out cycling and I was just noticing how many items I wear when I'm in sport mode that have these clasps. My rucksack, my cycling helmet, which I always wear these days, of course, since my injury. Yeah, they all seem to feature that. However, the great thing is, perfect for feminine jewellery design as well. Oh, now the code for the paracord party bundle is already on screen, and you know what that means. You can start dialing the free phone number to put yourself at the front of the queue. People already, they didn't need my little hint there. Most people are already dialing that free phone number to get involved. Lots and lots of people taking more than one of these via the website. This is the way to do it. Now, we had a paracord bundle that was airdropped into our show on Friday morning. All right, there's no need for that, guy. And I think we had about 150, 200 of that bundle sold out while we were live on the show. So that goes to show the popularity of paracord. We had messages coming through left, right and centre saying what a wonderful surprise, because we didn't even know it was going to feature, did we?
No, that's right.
And at the time we had, I think, was it the larger clasp in that bundle?
It was, that's right.
Yeah, so we had 5 large clasps in that bundle, and it was a sellout deal. Now tonight you do get 5 large clasps, but you also get 6 small clasps as well. Actually, it may have been the small clasp now that I think about it. I remember you got 6. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Anyway, you get 6 of the small clasp, 5 of the large clasp, and you also get these gorgeous paracord. So you get 16 feet of each length, and you've got that kind of reptilian variety. You've got the desert style camo. You've got the amethyst variety, amethyst purple is just the way I always refer to purple now. You've got the silver and you've got the navy. A third of the stock's already been allocated. We haven't even got the price on screen. All talked about this in much depth. And as Mark said, there's already a huge buzz surrounding this paracord phenomenon. Facebook group centered solely around paracord jewellery. If you want to see any of the tutorial demos, I believe there's some available on our website. Is that correct? You can certainly go to any of your shows on the YouTube channel.
That's right,
You're going to see lots of different demonstrations. To be honest, if you put paracord not into YouTube, say again, sir? We're going to reveal that exclusively right now. Is there anything that we might have in the pipeline that will help people to learn paracord, Mark?
Yes. Yes, 4th of February we're recording Paracord Edition 1, which is the basic beginnings, how to use the jig, what paracord's all about, how to set up your jig, how to splice, how to melt, all the basics, and then there'll be 5 or 6 knots that haven't featured on the show yet, just to get people started, and that'll just be the beginning. I mean,
that's just the beginning. I like that. Oh, actually, on that note, because we were discussing that on Friday, I have had some rather distressing news today. That I think you'll be recording that with Lucy.
Okay.
She got in there first.
Okay.
Unbelievable. The paracord party. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to have to get the price on screen. Most people multi-buying on this as well.
We mentioned this on the New Year's Eve show, but it's the fact that this bundle has got gents' colours in as well as ladies,
yes,
which is really, really good. It's
exactly
nice to see.
Right, yeah.
It's really good to see.
Oh, half the stock's already gone, Mark. We haven't even put the price on screen. Let's reveal the price. Oh, that's not the price.
I missed that. What was the price originally?
£13.65. Under £10.
That's better than the last offer we had. Because
it didn't. It only had one of the clasps. Now you're getting both the clasps, and am I right in thinking that you've got 80 foot of paracord here
and 11 clasps? Ooh. Oh my word!
So you've got the 12mm clasps, and you get 6 of those. You've got the 15mm clasps. You get 5 of those, and you've got 80 foot. Of paracord. You've got 16 feet of each colour tone, and as Mark rightly says there, you've got these beautiful combinations. I mean, the purple with the navy, the purple with the silver, the purple with the gold, all look perfect, doesn't it? As
work
for
so well
feminine
together.
jewellery design. I mean, you can see here from this design how beautiful the grey and the navy blue look.
Try that on your wrist, that bracelet, and see what it looks like.
I will, Mark. I like it. I love it. I love that Mark's thought of this. You've thought of everything, sir. Oh, it fits perfectly. It's almost like it was custom built for me. And they're really easy to do up.
Yeah. Those clasps are just the best. That looks really good on you, actually.
That looks amazing on me, don't you think?
Yeah, well, we talked about the fact that it was reversible. If you unclip it, and turn it inside, you can't actually wear it reversibly because of the angle of the clasp.
But you can see.
It's just to show you that if you just from altering the way you start the bracelet off, you could get that different colour scheme.
And you made this on the actual tool.
On the jig.
On the actual jig. And could you achieve that look without the jig, or would it be a little bit too tough?
You would need the jig, I think.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
We had the jig on the Late Show only a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So
what's
I think
this space?
A lot of our owners have. Oh, he's such a little.
I know.
He's so cunning this evening. Well, let's just carry on. We're having so much fun. We don't need a break. That's fine by me. That's okay by me. Right.
Is that all gone?
Yeah, I don't need a break. Do I look like a diva? There you are. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, we've had lots and lots of people interacting with the show, saying things like this. So Sarah's just said, just got in from work and tuned in to see two of my favourite fellas. Ed, have you had your hair cut? You're looking particularly young today.
Streamlined.
Streamlined, how you described it, yeah. I thought you meant my physique at first, and then I realised it was my buzz cut you were talking about. Although you also did say that I looked a bit like Tintin.
I did, yes, yes.
I like that. There you go. Oh, if everyone was to check out their baskets right now, we'd have 12 remaining in stock. We started with 150. We've only had this on screen for a few minutes. I told you the paracord party was going to be popular. You're going to have RSVP'd. What's my glamorous assistant doing lurking in the background here? Thank you, Sam. Sam's got more cabochons for us. Okay, we're going to move on then. Shall we leave it there? Because, oh, somebody else just came on the phone line and bought 2 of them, so I'm guessing we've got like 10 remaining in stock. Okay, lots and lots of people are quickly checking out on that, so I reckon it's going to be... I can't pick that up because I also had my nails done yesterday. My nails and my haircut yesterday. I'm such a metrosexual these days, aren't I, Mark? Treat yourself. Nothing else to do. My son's at nursery all day. We're going to move on. Okay, a brand new section to the show, which is new to... Oh, it's called... That's new to me.
I like it.
I love that. So it's items that you may have seen previously, but I have never seen previously on the show. Now this is interesting. I think I've seen the smaller size of these, but I've never seen these feature beads. 13 by 7 millimeters in size there. Actually, do you know what I think it is that's the difference, the variation in the ones that I've presented previously is the depth of these. They're very large, aren't they?
What size is the drill hole in those?
Do we know that information? It is very large.
You might be able to get paracord through that.
They've just taken my paracord away. Can you grab it for me, Pete? It's right there. I can see it.
There's a bit here.
Oh, you've got a bit. Thanks, Matt.
You might have to melt it and squidge it.
Actually, just looking at it there, I'm thinking I won't have too much trouble whatsoever. Yeah, that'll easily go through. There you go.
Brill.
Like you say.
So just one piece of the paracord around the wrist with a slip knot or a Shambhala style bracelet slidey clasp with one of those. That's all you need.
Find a tool, I would get it through.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah.
So there you go. See, paracord goes through it.
15 we're getting of these.
Yep, you get 15 of these, and okay. I'll tell you the other great thing about them is the detailing. And hopefully, we've been able to showcase that level of detailing. Actually, do you know what these would be perfect with? The reptilian one, because it does again. It looks like snake print, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. There you go. Or of course, you could get lots of other. In fact, you could get a Kumihimo braid through there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Or a Viking knit.
You can get Eslon Kumihimo through that. That'd look amazing.
That'd look gorgeous, wouldn't it? This is the great thing about these. Depending on the design you put them into, depends on whether they're going to look sort of everyday or whether they're going to look very high-end and elegant, isn't it? Because you do have the silver plating here. You get 15 beads individually, 13 by 7 mil in size. Mark has honed in immediately on the benefit to these, and that's the huge drill hole. We are going to honour the original launch price, because I'll tell you something, $12.95 any other time. But these are new to me, so we're going to take them down to the original launch price. $9.95, so that's your P&P back in your pocket, or the equivalent of, for these silver-plated textured rondelle beads, 13 by 7 millimeters in size. That's new to me. I love this catchphrase. Pete, have you ever seen these before?
That's new to me.
I knew Pete would let me down. Good work. Okay, lots and lots of people taking advantage of this deal. Maybe you have seen them before and it's not new to you, but you thought, I wish I'd grabbed 2 at the time. By giving you back the equivalent of your P&P, by taking them down to the launch price again, you could easily add these to your order. $9.95. I will say, you do get 15 of these. There's everything you're going to get. Look at all of those. And, of course, we've established that paracord goes to them as well, so very, very useful. Just had over 100 people grabbing 80 foot of paracord, so it's going to be very, very popular. Okay, we're going to move on from that deal. And, ooh, this is beautiful prey night. I tell you what, there's a bit of a theme running on here, because I always think of prey night as being almost serpent-like, partly because of the colour toe, but the inclusions that we see on the prey night here at Jewellery Maker, don't you think? Should go along with that, Pete?
No.
Have you ever seen this before, Pedro?
That's new to me, yeah.
That's new to you. Now this was launched on a morning show in May of last year with the lovely Lucy. But right now we have it on this evening show. Actually, again, this would be great if people are starting to plan for the upcoming spring season, because I always associate these colour tones with spring. I think it's almost because they have this citrus-like tone to them, don't they? They're not a rich lime green. They're not a forest green. They do have that kind of zestiness about them, don't they? The inclusions, of course, add that depth. Most people coming through so far are multi-buying these. These would be perfect for, you know, the shark tooth style necklaces where you just have one as a pendant for gents jewellery again. Lots of ideas tonight for gents jewellery, actually, aren't there?
I'll just imagine that with that purple paracord you've got there. I mean, they look stunning together.
Classic combination, isn't it? Purple and green. I love it. That was funnily enough, that was the colour of my parachute when I did my sky
Oh, you've
day.
done it, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm doing the solo one in the spring. So there won't be anybody to pull the cord for me, so I better get it right. Right, 130. Maybe some people are thinking, I hope he gets it. No, I'm joking. 130 carats of prey night. Beautiful trapezoids here, 12 by 8 millimeters in size. Let's have a look. That's new to me, $6.95. To add it to your order price for over 100 carats of prey night. I don't think it's going to catch on, lads. I'm loving it. I thought you were mocking me. They're just liking it. It's quite interesting with prey night, actually. Can we have a little bit of a closer look at the inclusions? Because it's very reminiscent of the tourmalations that we see in the black and white rutile.
Well, I class it personally. I class it as green rutile quartz.
Yeah.
I always have done. It looks just like a...
It's almost identical, isn't it? It's got that same... I always think of them as looking like paintbrush strokes. I can't get that out of my head.
Yes, yeah.
I always think they look like a piece of Japanese art when I see the way that the inclusions are. They really do look like they've been placed there. I don't know. Really beautiful. And of course, they create little points of interest, don't they? Both within the gemstone and then subsequently within your jewellery design. $6.95 for 130 carats of beautiful prey. Okay, we're going to move on. And we're going to bring you this collection of toggle clasps. So you get 7 different designs, and you get 2 of each clasp, and you get it in all 3 of the traditional metallic tones. Silver plated copper, yellow gold plated copper, and rose gold plated copper. And I will show you all of the designs. It all comes in this little ergonomically designed storage box.
You do like that word.
I love it. You know me, Matt. Oh, I tell you, I'm mad for my storage box at the moment.
I'm like that as well.
I just tidied up all of my son's toys yesterday, organised them all, And now I'm a bit like Will Ferrell in the Lego movie. He's like, where's my Transformers? I'm like, they're in the Transformer box. Which ones do you want? I'll get them out. Don't make a mess.
I'm a bit of a Transformer geek, I'm afraid.
Oh, of course, there's other
Yes.
robotic-based toys are available. So yeah, I've got cuddly toys, big cars, little cars, Lego. Oh, I've done it again. Right, stop saying other brands now, Ed, before you get sacked. Okay, so this is one of the designs. You get 2 of each colour tone. So 2 yellow gold plated, 2 rose gold plated, 2 silver plated. Then we go through the next one. And you've got this kind of rope effect again. Very, very popular. You've got 2 of those in each colour tone. So this means you've got 42 in total. 7 threes times 2, 42. Yeah. And then, oh, this almost has a kind of chain-like feel to it. Now again, that could be used for feminine jewellery or masculine jewellery. It almost has a steampunkish kind of feel to me. I can see your chain in that. That's fantastic. These are interesting because not only do they have the detailing, the little beading on the outer edge of the toggle, but on the T-bar, the end of the T-bar, look at that for attention to detail. Floral finish on those. That reminds me of a rosary ring. Some people won't know what I'm talking about, but you used to get little rosaries that were on a ring. And it looked like that. Had the beads around the outside. Anyway, people bought them for their First Holy Communion and their christenings and stuff like that. Yes. You see.
Yes.
Oh, look at this! This is like a wire gizmo. Can
you imagine how long it would take you to make something like that yourself?
And to be so precise as well. That would be the thing, wouldn't it? You'd have variations probably if you tried to do it in all 3 colour tones as well. And yeah, we're going to get the current price on screen. We are going to honour the launch price again. So it's currently available for $27.95. That's the penultimate design. We're not staying there because of course this is new to me, and we're going to take it down to the original launch price. Oh, I love this one. Pear drop. Do you know what I would do? Well, do you know what I would get Mark to do? Let's take it down to the launch price. Hefty saving.
Gosh.
$19.95. Wow. There you go. That just goes to show when we're launching premier items, you need to get on the phone lines very, very quickly to take advantage. So it should be $27.95. In 60 minutes, it's going to return to that price. But right now, you get 42 toggle clasps for $19.95. That's less than 50p per toggle clasp. What I would do with this, or what I would suggest designers do with this, is use the T-bar for pair of cufflinks, and then I would use this pear drop for an earring finding. Mark's nodding.
Pendant drop?
Or a pendant drop, yeah. Because you could suspend.
You do get more than one, don't you?
You get 2 of those. That's what made me think of earrings.
Yeah, perfect then. Yeah.
Because you've got a pair of earrings, and they've got that kind of traditional. I'm trying to think of what the word is. No, the large kind of dangle style where you have the gemstone suspended in the centre.
Yep.
There isn't a word for it. But, I know what I'd suspend in there as well. Herkimer diamond, right in the centre there. What do you think, Matt? Herkimer quartz in the centre of that? Yeah, that's a pair of earrings right there.
You are right about using gold with it, I think, aren't you? You were talking about metals earlier.
I like gold with this just because the inclusions, the way it sparkles, it looks kind of golden to me. But actually, I bet if you placed it alongside the silver ones, it'd look equally as beautiful. Let's try it out. There you go, have a look. Actually, I think, given that they're sort of black and white gemstones, might they go with any metal tone? Gorgeous.
I think I prefer that.
Yeah, there you go. Each to their own. Okay, we're going to move on. Wow, lots and lots of people grabbing that one. Not surprised, really. Get in there. Right, okay, moving on. Is this Peach Moonstone. That's interesting because this terminology is quite often associated with some of our cuts, but on this occasion it's definitely fitting. It's the elongated drop. But have a look at the cuts. I mean, they are offering you that elongation. Sometimes I always think they're not that elongated, they're kind of broad, but these definitely have that feeling to them, don't they? And again, this is something that Mark's taught me in the past. Huge clearance between the drill hole and the tip of the gemstone.
That's the most important thing, I think, with these type of shaped stone. As you can see, there's quite a distance between the drill hole and the tip of the beads on there.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's just perfect for when you're briolet wrapping, just single pendants on chains or earrings, anything like that. So that's always the good thing to look at first of all.
That goes back to the finish that you want to offer your customers, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, these are gorgeous. I love this because actually, you could just create a kind of showcase necklace out of this, couldn't you? You could use the kind of graduation in the sizes down the décolletage. That would look perfect, wouldn't it? 130 carats of peach moonstone. Range in size between 9x6 up to 26x6. This is absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes when we do see the peach moonstone, it doesn't have such consistency in the colour tone, so we do see much greater variations, but this is gorgeous, giving you that apricot tone almost. This is June's birthstone. Actually, I tell you, it's another neutral, isn't it? Because it's virtually a nude tone that we're looking at, really, isn't it? This is a Gems of Distinction strand of beautiful peach moonstone, and it's new to me. Let's have a look at the price you would normally pay for this. $14.95. We're not staying there. Take it down to Bargain Town. We're going to hand you back the equivalent of your P&P this evening, taking it down to $11.95, which is the lowest ever price for this particular strand. Now, I know that sometimes when we do look at the top drawer drops, Mark, we talk about the idea of setting them in that traditional way in your macrame ring design, but these elongated drops, I say, were probably more suitable for pendant drops and earrings,
yes,
aren't they?
I think so, without a doubt.
In fact, you could even put them inside those pear dropped.
Yes, there must be at least one or two that would fit into that drop. That's a good idea. I like
that. Actually, yeah. And you'd have the opportunity to set it into the yellow gold or the rose gold. Actually, might look quite good because the colour tone's so similar.
Rose, I think. See how it really makes the colour pop.
Oh, it works perfectly.
Oh, look at that! Look.
I said this the other night on Sunday when I was on air. If I could actually make jewellery, it'd be dangerous. Okay, if you want to add that to your order, don't forget all of the price reductions you see here on the late chart only available for 60 minutes. So at which point this is going to go back up to $14.95. Haven't even had a chance to touch on the gorgeous adjurescence that you're getting here. Look at that inner sparkle that you get from the way it's glittering. $11.95. Okay, we're going to move on. This is interesting. This is gorgeous, actually, I tell you. This would go rather beautifully with the peach moonstone. I love this combination, especially for the springtime. Amazonite.
Oh yes.
This pastel tone. Love this colour tone. It's really fresh, isn't it? Again, almost neutral.
That'll be a cufflink strand for me, that shape.
Really? Is
that
right?
Wire wrap pillows. Be perfect.
Ah, okay.
With a pearl on the inside, one of those pearls, the white pearls, one of those on the inside, and one of those on the outside. What amazing!
That's nice. Talking my language.
That'd be beautiful.
I'm not going to get too big for my boots. I've already got a new paracord bracelet tonight. I think the pearls are now a sellout deal, unfortunately.
Wow,
so those have flown out the door. But if you did grab them, then make the most of your one P&P per day.
Antique bronze wire is the best colour wire for this particular strand, yeah. And mixing that with smoky quartz, I mean, that whole combination of colours, I just think would be incredible.
I love that. This is quite traditional kind of combination, the browns and the blues and the golden tones. They just work so well together, but you really are sort of painting a picture here with the pearl on the inside of your cuff. the Amazonite on the outside, the detailing of the antique bronze, little accent, faceted smoky quartz rondelles, because those were really popular as well.
Yep.
Who would have thought that your cufflinks could be so elegant and luxurious? Well, Mark would. That's why he's here. But actually, you know, even simple earring designs, you can use the exact same colour combinations in droplet style earrings with these, couldn't you?
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I think the faceting on the surface of any opaque gemstone for me does give it a whole new sort of lease of life, if you like. Actually, shall we quickly find out how many pairs of cufflinks we could make? How many? This is an interesting question because we often talk about the price that you charge for earrings, that kind of thing. But how much do cufflinks?
Well, you don't want to discriminate between the sexes, do you? So my earrings would start at £5, so my cufflinks would start at £5 as well. Yeah.
Well, you say that, Mark.
Yeah.
Have I told you this? I went cufflink shopping, as it were. They're not.
No.
They're not just for the gents. I thought we had one thing.
No.
There's loads of cufflinks for women.
Yeah. There's not a single piece of jewellery that we've got exclusivity on.
No, absolutely not.
Nope.
The women love to power dress. And they've got cufflinks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pairs of cufflinks or earrings, depending on what you'd like to create. 150 carats in total. Beautiful Amazonite should be not. What do you mean? Should be $9.95. That's not the price. That's not even the launch price. That's new to me. $6.95. What do you make of that, Pete?
That's new to me, man.
That's right. Oh dear. What are we like? I don't have a catchphrase. What don't I have? There's usually one. $6.95. People are multi-buying this strand. Amazing. There should be $9.95. Down to $6.95 for the next 60 minutes. Amazing. And my producer has just informed me that I have to thank you all for all the lovely compliments I'm receiving about my haircut. He said he's got 9 text messages on his feed as it stands.
About your hair?
Are they all complimentary or? Oh. If you said something horrible, he'll put it on screen. He likes being horrible to me. I think we should definitely see this message. Okay, so it says, it's from Kathy. Now, we're hoping it's a typo, otherwise it's a great slight. Hey, you two, love the new hairdos. Very trendy and 2014. Are you trying to say that I'm stuck in the past? Or was it just a typo, do you think? I think Kathy is probably just being nice.
Yeah.
But I like the way you put that one on screen, guys. Thanks very much. Okay, we're going to move on. Oh, it's time for another Star Buy. Welcome back to Jewellery Maker. Time for another Star Buy, and on this occasion it is a wholesale deal on essential findings. And actually we spoke quite a lot this evening about the use of rose gold, maybe to add a bit of impact to your designs, maybe to add a bit of warmth. Here you're getting 3 of our most essential findings, huge wholesale numbers here. So you've got your head pins, and not the kind of traditional flat head pins or ball head pins. These are your little square or diamond shaped head pins. So you've got this 4mm square or diamond on the end of the pin, and then these are 50mm in length. So that gives you lots of creative scope with those. You've got 100 individual head pins as part of this deal. All rose gold plated. Copper is the base metal. Then you've got your little earring wires. Perfect. Very, very easy to work with, these are. So the shepherd hooks are 19 by 9 mil in size. You've got 50 pairs in total. Again, rose gold plated copper, and then you've got your butterfly backs and your posts. And I think you get approximately 50 pairs of earring posts and butterfly backs. Again, you've got the detailing on the end there, haven't you? You've got the little ball, then you've got the loop, so you can attach your little droplet styles. Even, I mean, can you imagine ruby rondelles, for example? Fantastic. So you've got 50 pairs of your posts and butterfly backs. You've got 50 pairs of your shepherd hooks, and you've got 100 of your 50 mil head pins with your little square head to them as well. Actually, I think whenever we have rose gold on the show, we talk about its versatility, don't we? Because it tends to be quite in keeping with contemporary design as well as vintage looks. Also, if you do draw the pink hue from the metalwork, it can look quite feminine in your designs. It just has a lot of different connotations attached to it, so that makes it versatile, and that is the beauty of using your findings that you get from us here at Jewellery Maker, because they're not kind of pigeonholing your designs. They do allow you to use them in a variety of different ways. I mean, I've seen head pins used as the features within designs, and of course Mark recently has been focusing on creating designs purely from findings alone, and well, with a great deal of success, if you don't mind me saying so. So on this occasion, I suppose you could argue that you've actually got 300 individual items. You've got 50 pairs of shepherd hooks, 50 pairs of posts and backs, and then you've got the 100 head pins as well. Normally, if you were to buy all these items individually, £27.85. Already amazing value. So that's less than £10 per item, if you like. Pretty amazing. We're not even staying there. Taking it down to a star buy price this evening. Of course, we've already discussed the fact that earring designs would start at £5 a pair, so 50 pairs. That's some hefty profitability there, isn't it? Potentially, what would you say, £500 worth of profit, even if you're making £5. I suppose with rose gold plated base metals, are those the kind of colour tones that the kind of metal tones you would use?
In the past year, I've definitely noticed more and more people asking for rose gold.
Oh, right, okay.
Without a doubt, it's definitely coming along. I think this year is going to be even better. And there's a certain fashion house that deal with rose gold with watches. You know who I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say that.
And I think they've paved the way for a lot of the rose gold jewellery that's coming through on the market now, without a doubt. But I'm definitely getting asked more and more for rose gold.
They wouldn't have done it by accident. They know what the trends are going to be, don't they? That's the thing. No, it's not just one fashion house, actually. If you do look across the market, particularly at sort of, I've been looking at men's kind of chunky watches, they tend to feature a lot of rose gold, don't they?
Yeah.
So I think it does have quite contemporary connotations as well. Lots and lots of people coming through for this one. Just £14.95. That's over £10 worth of savings here, and of course it's all about the profitability. So if you do intend to sell your designs in 2015, this is the way to maximise on the money that you can make. Normally you'd be paying less than £10 for your head pins, less than £10 for your posts and backs, less than £10 for your shepherd hooks. Right now you're paying less than £5 for each of these items. So 50 pairs of shepherd hooks for £4.99, 50 pairs of posts and backs for £4.99, 100 head pins for £4.99.
Is that an exclusive head pin? Because I can't recall seeing this type of head in one of our kits before.
I think I've seen them in the head pin collection, but you only got 2 of each head pin. You know, you got the triangular shaped one, the heart shaped one, the square one.
I thought that was more of a dome, like a mushroom. This is like a sort of a square.
Yeah, it's
square dome.
Yeah, that is exact. Oh, you're exactly right. I've just been informed.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd seen it before. No, it's beautiful.
No, I'd seen a similar shape. Well, yeah, you're quite right.
Yeah.
I think they've been. I think this item's been made available once or twice on shows.
Right.
But yeah, not as part of findings packs that where we traditionally associate findings with. Wow, huge numbers of people actually multi-buying this deal. I'm not surprised based on the value. As I say, you could look at it at less than £5 for each item within the collection. 100 head pins, 50 pairs of posts and backs, and 50 pairs of shepherd hooks, all for £14.95. Amazing opportunity. We are going to move on. And actually, we're going to bring you another very, very popular item. Now, now this particular deal, I'm being told, has only been seen once before. Is that correct? And it is backed by popular demand. And this is something that, again, kind of got your creative juices flowing earlier, Mark. You were saying everything these would go with these little sparkle beads.
Ah, do you want to see my bracelet I've made?
Oh yeah, you've already created some. I love it.
Incorporating the paracord with them.
I love it. Have a look at this. It's just taking paracord onto another level as well. That's really impressive, isn't it? It's almost like Shambhala style meets paracord bracelet. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's a technique we do on the Mates for Men called a railroad bracelet.
I love it.
So what I've done is I've used one length of paracord as in effect the outer rails,
right? And
then just woven using it's just using beading thread down the centre, and then if you turn it round to see the back, I've just made a series of lanyard knots, which is a basic knot that will be covered on the DVD, and then I've taken the outer covering off the end and just frayed it to just get that little sort of tassel, and then it's quite a small bracelet, probably for a child or a lady, but no, it's beautiful.
That's so interesting. That's beading thread. I thought it was wire at first.
No, it's beading thread. It just really, really adds to the colour, doesn't it? It's beautiful.
I love that design. That's amazing.
Really simple. Okay,
cool. So they're coming up in about half an hour's time, and we'll bring you the little stardust beads. I'm going to move on. We've got a lot to fit in. Oh, now. My director just said we're going to go from one catchphrase to another, because in the next section of the show you do need to get on the phone line very, very quickly. It is last of stock opportunities here, and of course we know Pete's not going to let us down this time. If you miss it, you miss out! He loves it, doesn't he? Yeah!
That's new to me.
He just said that's new to me. Right, here we go. Unbelievable tonight, boys. Okay. Now, based on the fact this is part of the Miss It, Miss Out section of the show, can I ask in advance, how many of these do we actually have remaining in stock? Okay. 31 strands remaining. Might as well be exact about this because I know how popular they're going to be. Not only do you get the clarity that people are looking for from clear quartz, but have a look at the cuts. Beautiful step cut rectangles.
You'd expect to see this particular stone in 3 separate stones in those little display boxes that we've had. Is it the cut collection? You'd expect to see these not on a strand at all, wouldn't you?
Absolutely agree with that.
Wow.
They're almost like, like those calibrated stones, aren't they? Yeah. Actually, I just caught one of the faceted angles in the light, and it literally had that very, that traditional, that little ting, like sparkle kind of thing you'd see.
Gosh, they're exquisite.
That is amazing. I love it. I mean, bridal jewellery again.
Well, I'm just thinking just one stone on a piece of leather strapping for a gent's necklace.
Absolutely. Actually,
wow.
Do you know what? I can imagine these as well would be really popular potentially for people who have a passion for sort of crystal healing, things like that, because of course quartz is an amplifier of energies, things like that.
That's
and
right.
The cut here would be perfect for those, wouldn't it, actually?
Just hanging them from monofilament in your window. I mean, that'd just be beautiful, wouldn't it?
How about that for a bit of a combination?
Oh, yeah.
So you've got the lapidarists faceting and Mother Nature's faceting in one design. 35 carats of clear quartz. These step cut rectangles are 14 by 5 mil. Okay, lots and lots of people coming through on the phone lines already. If you're placing them in your basket, start checking out now, because the price you are seeing right now is not going to be the price you pay. They're currently available for $19.95. But for the next 60 minutes and for the final 31 in stock, we're going to put a crisp £5 note back in your pocket this evening. Wow. That's less than 50p a carat. And when you consider the clarity, the cut,
Gosh.
the effect that you're going to get within your designs, whoa. Huge influx of buyers in these in the basket. Definitely need to be checking out. And if you are interested in these, you need to be dialing that free phone number as quickly as possible. And I definitely wouldn't say that's put unnecessary pressure on you. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee, but I just don't want people to miss out on the deal. I love these. They're almost like, you know, if you see like a gold bar.
Yeah.
Like a bar of
They're
gold
quite Egyptian.
bullion.
I think they look quite Egyptian as
Oh,
well.
yeah. So many different...
I'm really surprised to see those on a strand, really, honestly.
Yeah, they're so precise, aren't they? Can you see? Hopefully I'm getting all of the facets across to you. Can you see?
And they're all the same size as well, which is really nice.
So ideal, like you say, I mean, actually, these are the kind of items that you could have on your stall and say, you know, what sort of threading material do you want on the neckline? So you could put them on chain, you could put them on leather cord.
Look at that.
Can't fail with those, can you?
Wow, that's beautiful.
Okay, we are going to leave that one with you. Flying out the door, we're going to move on. Well, this is quite interesting because more often than not, when we see the boulder opal at the moment, the banding is what's really drawing me to the different gemstones. I'd have to say this is some of the most impressive banding I think I've ever seen on boulder opal, and it comes in one of the most beautiful cuts as well. Look at the banding on these. Each one is so unique.
Oh, I love that one, 5th or 6th in the end with the black and white. Looks like a humbug, doesn't it? Yeah, that's
That
beautiful.
is just amazing, isn't it? Oh, we've only got 10
10?
left in stock. This comes from our Gems of Distinction range. I tell you, this would be fantastic. Again, I think this has kind of happened a little bit organically, but so many designs tonight are jumping out for gents jewellery for me.
Yeah, it's nice.
You imagine a guy who's got a birthday in October. Traditional opals, normally quite luxurious, quite romantic, probably wouldn't associate with gents jewellery. This is perfect, isn't it?
I mean, the natural pack of hemp that we do, you know, the brown, the ivory and the black, I mean, all of those would work beautifully with that. And it's just real summer beach wear, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So you're getting your summer stuff ready.
Yeah, it's perfect because you've got the kind of charcoal greys and the sky blues.
I always think, I mean, I really like Larimar, but I think it's more of a feminine gemstone than a masculine. So this would be the nearest thing to it that I think gents could probably wear.
Great suggestion.
They're beautiful. I love those.
There you go. I think.
Wow.
I think the gemstone's just inspiring there, isn't it? Because
They
you've
are,
come up with
completely.
about 4 or 5 different designs just looking at it. That's amazing. The shape as well is quite possible. They're $11.95.
Really?
I mean, like you were saying, you put one of these on a piece of hemp cord, you make your money back, wouldn't you?
Simple. Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to do any work. I quite like that one actually. This is amazing. There's a few that have that banding, you know, Matt. I mean, that one there's got this quite interesting banding on it. I love those. $11.95 is the price point for this particular strand. Very, very few of these remaining in stock. As you can see, half the stock's already been allocated, and there are people who have this in their basket you need to check out to avoid disappointment. And of course, we're never going to limit you to one strand, so if a phone buyer comes through and says, oh, I'll take the 5 you've got left, then it will be a sellout deal. Check out. Otherwise, you do run the risk of missing out on that deal. Now we're going to give you a little bundle here. And I imagine this would fit in with a few of the DVDs that Mark's put together over the last couple of years.
That's quite scary when you say it like that.
Yeah, I know, time goes quick when you're enjoying yourself, Mark.
Gosh.
I remember when you did your screen test that fateful Sunday morning.
Sunday, yeah.
Yes.
Who would have known?
This is a nugget special. Actually, these have a lot of the kind of spring and summer colours. For me, that's just the way I.
Gosh, that yellow and blue together.
Yeah, match made in heaven, aren't they?
Wow. But they're big as well, aren't they?
Very sizable, yes. The blue chalcedony actually ranges up to 17 by 9, and the lemon quartz very similar, 17 by 7. So,
Yeah. Lemon quartz is one of my favourites. I just love it. Beautiful.
what would you say it is about it that you love so much?
Well, I love citrine, but that's
Right.
more of a sort of an orangey yellow.
Yes.
And if you wanted a sort of a daffodil egg yolk yellow, I think you go for your lemon quartz.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Has more of the subtle hues, doesn't it? Yeah, whereas the citrine has more of the golden tones. No, absolutely.
That's lovely.
Gorgeous.
Yes, it's got two complete different sets of jewellery for me. Those 4 strands, without a doubt.
You mix these.
I take the two sort of pink nude colours and then the yellow and the blue, without a doubt. Yeah.
It's funny actually with this one because you've got the peach moonstone and the sunstone.
Yeah.
So
That's beautiful. Gosh.
don't blame it on the sunshine. Blame it on the moonlight. Blame it on the boogie, Pete. Let's see your moves. Ah, he never dances on cue. He's not here. He's not here to entertain me. Okay. The Nugget Special, featuring over 600 carats of gemstones, blue chalcedony, lemon quartz, peach moonstone, and your gorgeous sunstone here. And these are sizable strands as well, over 38 centimetres in length each strand. Normally, this would... Really? It's only 15, 18 in the toss. They're already under £4 per strand.
Already?
What?
Oh no.
Okay, I am absolutely shocked by that price point. £2.49 per strand.
That's not right. Okay. Liam knows best.
I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. Sorry. And also, this blue colour, I don't think I've seen the nugget variety of this chalcedony ever before. It's new to me. The colour tone's amazing. It's almost like neon apatite in its colour, isn't it? Normally we see more of the kind of waxy colour tones, don't we? Really rich, almost royal blue. I'm really impressed with that. £2.49 per strand. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, really. It is the late show on Jewellery Maker, but when you've got 600 carats in your hand, you just don't expect to associate with a price point under £10, that's all. Especially when you get 4 different gemstones as well. So again, the creative scope is so much greater with these. Incredible. Variations in the sizes. And of course, if you have got any of Mark's DVDs, it's the perfect addition to your collection. Absolutely perfect. Okay, £2.49 per strand, but of course the Nugget Special is only available for 60 minutes, just like all the deals here on The Late Show. We're going to move on. And we're going to give you another cabochon deal. Ooh.
These are exquisite.
I've
just seen them at the corner of my eye.
The earthy colour tone.
That one nearest to me at the bottom, with the white and brown split, that's just exquisite. I'm imagining that Laura binding or Sammy wrapped. That'd just be amazing. Gosh, that's exquisite.
Looks like the peak of a mountain, isn't it? This one's my favourite, the one in the centre, because it has those kind of pastel greens in the centre. Love that. The greens and blacks, another great combination, isn't it?
She's amazing, isn't she, old Mother Nature? We
Oh,
do take her for granted.
I think so. She does tend to surpass herself each time.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, look at this one. Actually, I'll tell you what these do go with. The desert camo paracord, actually. They're quite similar colour tones to that, aren't they?
We were talking earlier about the wire macrame workshop. We do, remember I said we do 2 wraps, we do a 6 and a 3.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 is just so simple, would really lend itself well for gents. Because I don't see why gents shouldn't wear cabochons either. And the macrame 3-strand wrap is really simple.
Okay.
So I think for gents jewellery as well, this particular bundle would be fantastic.
Well, on Friday, when we did the morning show together, we had lots and lots of gents texting through to the show, didn't we? So
That's right.
We're trying to revolutionise the jewellery design world, hopefully, from that point of view. Love the combinations that you've got here, because, and it's all because of the banding, like you said. It's all thanks to Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Again, she's created the unique finish on these. I mean, these two are so different, actually, and yet same variety of picture jasper. So you've got the earthy colour tones here with the brown tones and the beautiful golden shades, and then on this one you've got the blacks and the greens. So really interesting cabochons. Again, you could potentially offer your customers the choice, and this is the kind of gemstone collection, I think, that's going to allow you to work on personal commissions. You can see, you know, come back to me next week if you like, and I'll allow you to select your cabochon. Come back to me. Over 600 carats once again, and we're going to honour the launch price. He's not messing around tonight, is he? He means business. Normally $17.95, and in 60 minutes, that is the price point that you'll pay for this collection of beautiful picture jasper. But for the next 60 minutes, once again, handing you back the equivalent of your P&P, down to $14.95. Of course, here at Jewellery Maker, 1 P&P per day. So risk-free shopping experience. You can add as many items to your order as you wish, and you only ever pay $2.95 for a 24-hour period. That runs from midnight to midnight, just to be clear. It doesn't start when you make your first order. Otherwise, everybody would make an order at 8:59 p.m. $14.95 is the price point. Lots of people starting to come through on the free phone number. Again, you know, don't say it to be repetitive. It's just to make sure that you don't miss out on the deals. If you're placing items in your basket, I would probably just check out as you move along through the show. And of course, if you do get something back to your home and you're not 100% satisfied that it's going to be suitable for your designs, then simply send it back to us. It's a quibble-free money-back guarantee here at Jewellery Maker. $14.95 for 610 carats of picture jasper cabochons, beautifully polished. Okay, we're going to move on. Oh, really? Huh. I was fooled.
Oh, yeah.
When I was looking down, I thought it was Morganite, actually, I have to say. It's just because I know we've got Morganite in the show. I think that's what it is.
Have we?
Got some coming up. I think it's in the final hour, is that right?
I didn't know that.
And I just tricked myself into thinking we had some more. Although, to be honest, I thought we had Morganite.
Morganite.
Oh, boo, boo. But actually, to be honest, would you expect to see Morganite of these kind of carat weights? I think I might have been pushing my luck. Maybe. You never know here at Jewellery Maker.
No, that's right.
You do get over 200 carats here of rose quartz, which is a very similar colour tone. Those beautiful pastel pinks. This is quite sort of, again, if you think what's coming up in a couple of weeks, Valentine's Day, these could be perfect, couldn't they? 245 carats. Graduated, faceted, elongated drops. They range in size from 10mm to 20mm. In fact, just looking at this reminds me, I'm going to have to reinforce my letterbox.
Why's that then?
All those cards. I assume the face one's going to be ringing me.
I've never had one.
Never had a Valentine's card?
It's not a surprise one. No, never. Ever.
I once had one here.
Did you?
Yeah, and I still don't know who sent it. I'm pretty sure it's a wind-up. It's when I was the sales manager at Jewellery Maker. It was left on my desk, and I arrived one day, and I still don't know who sent it. Pete. Right. 245 carats of rose quartz. I mean, each and every one of these, in my view, is a pendant. That's how significant they are. We only have a very limited number. Oh, single figures. Ready stocks already half allocated. Should be $24.95. We're not even staying there. We're taking it down to $19.95. Another £5 back in your pocket this evening. I tell you what, this would look beautiful alongside amethyst actually. Haven't got any right now, but because you've got the pastel pink and then the intensity of the purples.
I mean, if you did a simple 3-strand plait using that purple paracord, and then just using jump rings and head pins, just suspended those.
Oh, gorgeous.
That looks stunning, wouldn't it?
Be amazing. That's kind of like evening wear, I would say.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
That's for when you're being taken out for Valentine's Day. There you go. Don't forget to tune in to Mark and Lucy's Valentine's special on Saturday the 14th of what month again is it?
February.
Say that round. Okay, we're going to move on because it's Star Buy time. I've just realised something. The clock stopped in the studio. I've been thinking, wow, it doesn't seem to matter how many things I sell. The clock says it's 6:25, and I was thinking, I'm sure I've done another Star Buy since then. Am I losing it? Right, that's what's happened. The clock stopped. You could have got yourself a little bit of extra Jewellery Maker tonight if nobody had told me. 925 sterling silver Stardust beads. These are backed by popular demand, and we've already seen them used to great effect in Mark's beautiful design here. I think the interesting thing about these is that you can take them in different directions, whether you want to create everyday jewellery with a little bit of glitz and glamour, or whether you want to use them in your very high-end luxurious items. They're definitely going to fit the bill because, of course, they have that traditional sparkle that we associate with these beads, but they are sterling silver, so they're adding value as well. So they do tend to cover a lot of the bases. They're 4mm in size, so they're perfect as accent stones, or, as you can see from this design, the feature of a design. You get 20 individual beads, and actually, as you've used these, Mark, I'll ask you this time, is the drill hole it looks quite sizable for such a small bead.
Yeah, well, I think all I've used is 2 pieces of beading thread, and I could probably have got 8 or 9, even 10 maybe through. So it's a good 1 mil through the middle.
Oh right, okay, there you go. That's perfect.
Absolutely.
Because actually, you can imagine these being quite at home in a wire work piece, just as like little notes of punctuation in the design.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get your satin cord through that easily.
Ah, we've got a satin cord deal coming up in the next hour of the show, I believe. So there you go. 20 individual sterling silver Stardust beads, and you can see that kind of glitter effect that's been created on the outer edge of the beads themselves. Wow, lots and lots of people, again, multi-buying, people really making the most of their 1 P&P per day here at Jewellery Maker. Congratulations, Jean, you've got 2, Glenda's got 2, Stella's got 3, Linda's got 2, Patricia's got 2. Probably about 20 or 30 people that in their basket at JewelleryMaker.com as well. When was the last time we saw these then, if they're backed by popular demand? Oh, it's been a few months.
Yeah, I thought I hadn't seen them for a
3
while.
months since we saw these, I think, roughly. Or 2 or 3 months, I should say. So that does say quite a lot for our buying processes, that we've been able to get them back in stock. But of course, when it does come to precious metals, because these all have to be handcrafted, who knows how long it will be before we get them back in stock. Linda's got 3, Marie's got 2. How many of these do we actually have in stock? Okay, so this is quite good because we have been able to get 200 of these back in stock. However, in the short time that I've had them on screen, nearly half the stock's been allocated already. So these are really popular.
Is Jewellery Maker old school?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I remember the first time we actually had these in stock.
They're just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So nearly 100 items already allocated. We've only got 200. When we first had, when we had them in stock a couple of months ago, and they were launched on the morning show, is that right? Over 500 sold out on one show. So that goes to show how popular they are. I think they're quite in keeping with a lot of contemporary styles of jewellery. You know, I made reference to the kind of Shambhala style bracelets. If you have a look at those traditional ones, those bracelets have the kind of glittery effect beads in them, don't they?
I mean, if you're doing a Shambhala sliding clasp with the toggles, just to have a silver spacer bead on each, it doesn't matter what other bead you use on your bracelet, because they're going to go with absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't want a big, cumbersome, heavy beads dangling, you can just pop on a couple of the spacers.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, you're adding value to your design because they are sterling silver.
That's right.
So there you go. Perfect for your high-end designs or your everyday pieces, but they're going to push those prices up to a premium price point. Say again, sorry? Oh, okay. I'm being told less than half the stock remaining now. So over 100 of these have now been allocated. Double figures of availability remaining in stock. Let's get that price on screen. Oh, well, that explains it. 20 individual sterling silver stardust beads, 4 mil in size for £6.95. 35p per bead.
That's amazing, isn't it?
The sterling silver, 35 pence per bead. Oh, how about like micro macrame?
Yeah,
Mark, can you do
perfect.
that before?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you remember the Cavandoli, the zigzag pattern that we do? I mean, they would look beautiful with the Esselon thread, something really delicate.
Gorgeous, yeah. This is the great thing about all the knotting and the weaving techniques, isn't it? Because you can go really, really high end, or you can keep it kind of every day.
Absolutely. And we've got so many different threads and thicknesses of the threads at the moment that you can just do anything with them.
Somebody just grabbed 4 of these.
I'm not surprised. I mean, they're incredible. And as I said, they're real Jewellery Maker old school,
they are,
which I really miss. So to get something like this back, I think it's really nice.
Now that you say that, actually, I think I remember Linda once making a beady bead using these stardust beads.
She has, absolutely.
And they look phenomenal, don't they?
Just hanging from a single piece of chain in the ear, just look phenomenal, wouldn't they?
Gorgeous. Wow, oh, wow. Most people taking 2s, 3s, 4s of these. Could be a sellout deal tonight. Will be available for the next 60 minutes. We have to go to a quick break. £6.95 for sterling silver stardust beads. We're going to go to a quick break. When we return, lowest ever prices. That's the section of the show we're coming back to. Don't move a muscle. Every single item you're about to see is going to its lowest ever price. We'll be back in 2.
Come and join guest designer Fiona on our resin workshop. Fiona will guide you through designing with resin and building techniques such as using resin to make cold connections, using wire, creating bezels, and using other mediums to create colour and texture. The full course includes resin and epoxy enamelling hardener, a bead scoop, a selection of different gauged wire, a selection of alcohol inks, glitters, gilding flakes and Angelina fibres, a buffet-style lunch and refreshments, a tour of the studios, the Gem Museum and a chance to visit the shop. All of this for just $79.95. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Join guest designer Liz Welsh as she guides you through how to make beads using friendly plastic. Liz will teach you how to make an array of different shapes and patterns, including round beads, wrapped and tubular beads. This DVD is packed full of inspiration and helpful hints and tips. So to get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
If you love classic jewellery, then why not come and join guest designer Gemma Crow on our vintage workshop. Gemma will guide you through various beading and wirework techniques which will inspire you to create timeless designs from a bygone era. The full course includes a selection of wire, a selection of findings and charms, a bead scoop, use of all relevant tools and equipment, a buffet lunch and refreshments, a tour of the studio and a visit to our Gemstone Museum. All of this for just $69.95. Have a blast from the past and take home some amazing designs. For further information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Join our guest designer Mark Smith on his Makes for Men DVD. You'll experience many different techniques specifically designed for creating men's jewellery. This DVD will cover how to make a slip knot, railroad bracelet, metal with leather techniques, cufflinks, a wraparound bracelet and a ball chain bracelet. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
Good evening and welcome back to the late show here on Jewellery Maker. We're having a very fun evening, but we are also looking at some of Mother Nature's finest creations. Coming up in less than an hour, we will be launching this strand of Herkimer diamonds or Herkimer quartz. Absolutely out of this world. Anybody out there who has an interest or a passion in crystal healing will probably be interested in this, because it does have strong associations with that discipline, if you like. However, from a gemological point of view, these are equally as exciting. I'm certainly excited to be bringing these to you. Coming up in less than an hour, we're going to talk about the history and the kind of folklore and traditions attached to the gemstone. But I have to warn you, most of the premier deals we have been bringing you this evening, people have been multi-buying, they've been selling out, so get on the phone lines as quickly as possible when we bring you the Herkimer quartz at 8 p.m. Well, before that, we're going to be doing our lowest ever price segment of the show, and we're going to kick off with these star-cut faceted smoky quartz. Look to be 8mm to me. Oh, they're 9mm. There you go. Underestimating the size of those. Rich chocolate brown colour tone here, but with the faceted rondelles from earlier, because you've got the two variations in the faceting. Would you go along with that, Matt? Just, you could put the rondelles in between.
You see what I mean about the darker colour? It seems to take in the light and holds it.
Yes.
Whereas the paler colour seems to reflect it back out at you again.
Absolutely.
These are really rich, aren't they? They're beautiful.
They're good. They almost look jet black on your screen, don't they? But in reality, you can definitely use that chocolate brown tone to your advantage. Maybe if you want a slightly toned down look for a monochrome selection, or of course with your antique bronze, with your blues, your Amazonites perhaps, as Mark suggested earlier. Over 200 carats in total, 9mm, star cut, faceted rounds. Start dialing that free phone number as quickly as possible. I've just noticed these yellow gold plated sterling silver shepherd hooks. They're coming up in about 20 minutes time. They're coming up at 8:30. Just two of those as dangles because of the chocolate browns and the gold. It's gorgeous.
Or with those white pearls, well, they've sold out with the pearls that we had earlier. Or the,
anybody that grabbed them. Be perfect, wouldn't it? Whites and browns. Okay, currently available for $11.95. We are going to take this down to the lowest ever price. Get on the phone line as quickly as possible for these deals. I expect them to be sell-out deals because they're going solo. $8.95. It's never been to a price point lower than that. Over 200 carats of smoky quartz for $8.95. If I had 200 carats of, you know, tumbled nuggets of smoky quartz, I wouldn't expect it to go to that price. But to have star-cut faceted rounds for this price, it's an add it to your order price. Take advantage while you can. Lowest ever price. And we've got to move on because we've got a lot of deals to fit in. Ooh. Now I know Mark's going to fall in love with this strand instantly because both my producer and I both were admiring it for some time when we were going through the hours earlier this afternoon. Of the most beautiful strands of Botswana agate I think I've ever seen.
We don't see very much of this anymore, do we?
No, we certainly don't see perfectly polished
No, they're not.
rounds. It's
No, no.
traditionally faceted or larger slabs, for example. Okay, I'm being told we've got fewer than 20 strands in stock, and when we go to the lowest ever price, I can't see this hanging around for very long. Oh, look at that. I mean, again, cufflinks would be fantastic with this, wouldn't they?
Straight away, I think, when I was a kid, I was a bit of a marble
I know what you're going to
fanatic.
say, because I thought the same thing.
I was a massive marble fanatic, and if I'd have had these then, I wouldn't have used glass marbles, I'd have used these. They're just stunning, aren't they?
But then I wouldn't have been able to play marbles, because there's no way I wanted to lose any of these.
No.
I did think, I was just thinking the same thing when you said it. 12mm polished rounds should be $11.95. We've got to get the price down because it looks like it's going to be a sellout deal before we've even crashed the price. Still going to honour it, of course. Should be $11.95, down to $8.95 again. So we're just handing you back your P&P left, right and centre here, aren't we? Making these items as accessible as possible. Oh, wow. I think we could already be oversubscribed on this deal, so we're going to move on. That just goes to show how quick things are selling out tonight. This is the great thing about having so many incredible products and the inspiration of Mark Smith here this evening. Lots and lots of people tuning in to get hold of these amazing deals, and of course to get Mark's insights both into design concepts and into potentially how to sell your designs at craft fairs. These are Mark's sort of areas of expertise, I would say. So lots and lots of people involved. You know what that means, you've got to get on the phone lines as early as possible. Hessonite garnet now.
In that size?
Don't know what's going on tonight.
I've only seen them in little rondelles.
Oh, the rondelles are gorgeous because they have that kind of sparkle, but the great thing about these, the polished larger with the larger surface area, can really make the most
See,
of that
this would be a
kind of
collector
cognac
strand,
taste.
wouldn't it, that you wouldn't do anything with, you'd just keep it in your stash.
Potentially. January
Well, I certainly
babies.
would. Yeah, I certainly would.
Oh,
Oh, that's stunning.
again. People flying in, we're going to have to get the should-be price on screen. 45 carats of hair. Oh, no wonder.
That's the should be.
Oh, right, okay, my producer said it's already down at a clearance price. He's going again. He's taking it down to the lowest ever.
Vicky Carr would be going berserk right now. Oh my word.
Lucky for you,
Yes.
producer Liam.
This is one of Vicky's favourite stones.
She loves this, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh
when
my
you
God.
guys were on the show last week together, I think we were
had
talking
some.
about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
we
I
had some
saw
on the
that
show.
part of your show
Yeah.
actually. Oh, okay. Looks to me like that will be another sellout deal. I mean, you can understand why,
Just-
because of course garnet, traditionally associated with the kind of bold red tones. I think any variations are exciting and collectible, but when you've got these kind of whiskey or cognac tones coming through, okay, that's oversubscribed now. It's going to be a sellout deal. Moving on. Okay, now, when we're saying it's oversubscribed, we're kind of being a little bit overly cautious. We're ending the sale when there's enough people to end the deal, but that is based on people having it in their baskets. So until the baskets are closed, there is still stock available. So if you do want to dial through, you can still add it to your order. I think that's fair to everyone. We just don't want to, you know, kind of annoy everyone by telling you to dial through only to find out it's gone. So we're trying to balance it out. I think we're being as fair as we possibly can. Do you know what? I would describe this. It's called orange coloured chalcedony. I'd probably say it's hessonite garnet coloured chalcedony. It's a very similar colour tone, isn't it?
Are they drilled from top to bottom rather than...
They're cross drilled,
Oh, fantastic.
cuddled as we call
Cuddled.
them here on the Late Show. I love the faceting because you know when it is cross drilled and they kind of tessellate like that.
They're amazing, aren't
The faceting as well really comes to life, doesn't it? I mean, you could just restrand that, and as a bracelet, it's going to attract so much attention, isn't it? I love that. They range in size from 13mm to 60mm, so it's not a really dramatic graduation, but it's large enough to make these central gemstones the feature, the focus.
I think what I would do, I'd probably thread maybe a 6 or 8mm bead in between, but keep them in that pattern the way they're falling.
Right.
And then you get to see the faceting on the back as well as the front, but you still get that sort of serpent-like.
I like
effect.
that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Actually,
Yeah,
that's the way
yeah.
it always has a movement to it, doesn't it? What kind of colour tone would you put with it then? Would it be like a jet black? Because I see black
No,
and gold.
I'd keep it quite subtle. So maybe that's the smoky. Actually, that smoky quartz you've just had.
The star cut.
Yeah, I think that would be beautiful. That was 9 mil, wasn't it? Yeah,
9
just have one of
millimetres.
those in between, but keep them in that pattern. So take them off the thread and rethread them
Yes.
as they fall, and you still get that sort of undulating effect,
Yeah.
but you get the lift, so you see the back of the stones as well.
I love it. Sam's
That's
nodding
just
along.
nice.
In fact, her
That's
head's
lovely.
going to fall off. She nods anymore with that design. Okay. Should be. You know what's happened, don't you? There's already enough people coming through for this one, but until they are all confirmed, you can dial that free phone number, $7.95 for this deal. At least people are being savvy tonight, getting through early. And of course, we've talked about this in the past, but chalcedony is thought to traditionally stimulate creativity, so it would be a good gemstone to work with. But I think here, it's nothing to do with the variety of gemstone. I think it's the facety, the way it's been cross-drilled, and the inspiration from the wonderful mark as well. Actually, can you see the banding on some of these as well? It's not really coming through on screen, but it's almost like the grain you find on wood, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, lots and lots of people coming through that. There is still some stock available at $7.95, so you can continue to add that to your order while stock is remaining. Oh, Mark's favourite gemstone of 2014. Gorgeous aquamarine. We looked at this gemstone in a little bit more depth on Sunday evening. We were talking about the history attached to this particular variety of beryl and how it's usually the iron content that provides you with the saturation of colour. You can actually find transparent varieties of aquamarine. It still has the chemical composition to be aquamarine, but this has got that icy blue tone that you associate with the gemstone. But again, all about the lapidary work for me. Twisted, step-cut rondelles.
Like those Chinese lanterns, aren't they?
They
have
are.
the printed butterflies on them when they're in the wind.
Exactly like that shape. They range in size from 7x5 to 11x7. Could you set these in a macrame design?
I'd cufflink them.
Oh, right, okay.
Have the middle section on the outside and the two ends as the inside.
Yeah.
Antique bronze wire. They just look incredible.
Done.
Or rose gold.
Rose gold,
colour.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. I think you got a commission coming your way. 120 carats. This comes from the Gems of Distinction range. It's quite interesting because when you get the light pass through, you've got some that are giving you the icy tones and some that are giving you sky blues. There's a little bit of skin tone behind it. I mean, some of them really rich blue tones coming through, aren't they? Over 100 carats in total. Should be $16.95. Really? Oh, okay, they're already down at a clearance price at $16.95. We're now taking to the lowest ever price and putting £5 back in your pocket. Producer says we're not making money, we're making friends. And of course, great time to invest in this gemstone because it's March's birthstone. So
Yes.
if you want to create a beautiful, maybe a pair of cufflinks for a March baby, it is actually quite nice for gents to be given their birthstone because there's not that many opportunities for you to actually own your birthstone. The first, but the only piece of birthstone jewellery I own is a pair of cufflinks, funnily enough. Wow, $11.95. Again, we're going to have to move on to our next deal. And another variety of aquamarine. I think these were scheduled in honour of Mark's love for this gemstone. But we spoke about this towards the end of last year, didn't we? And the reason that you were so enamoured by it was just the quality of the aquamarine.
Yes, it's getting better. Well, all of our stones seem to be getting better and better, don't they?
Absolutely.
But with aquamarine, that's why I haven't gone against labradorite, but this is tipped off #1 for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
I mean, I actually thought at the time that maybe, just because of the popularity at the time, maybe I was influenced by it being December's birthday, and I thought Tanzanite might give it a run for its money. Of course, premium
Yes, that's
gemstone
right,
category, isn't it?
yeah.
But I always think tanzanite and aquamarine, fantastic combination.
They are. No, that's right. Actually,
They're both
Yes,
very
yes.
luxurious. They're both very well known, and the colour tones just complement one another so beautifully. So I'm just thinking tanzanite rondelles in between
Beautiful.
these.
I mean,
Or
we're
even
talking
a pair
about
of
it. I
earrings.
mean, this is the perfect example of showing you the difference between the drill hole and the tip. I mean, that is
Yes.
really substantial, isn't it? So you can do some really fine, intricate relay wrapping and swirls and all sorts on each of those drops.
Absolutely,
plenty
you'd
of
probably
room
say
there.
that's more than a third of the way
Yeah,
down,
that's
actually.
really
wouldn't it?
good.
Yes,
That's
it does
really
give
good.
you a lot of scope, I suppose, a lot of license to really create and embellish the design, if you like. Okay, there's already a lot of people coming through. You can see what my producer's up to. He's taken every single strand to the lowest ever price. You've managed to find items that are already at ridiculous lows. This is at $11.95. He's going even lower. Get on the phone lines as quickly as possible. Somebody cover my ties quickly.
Too late. Oh my word! I've never seen aquamarine at $6.95 in that sort of strand.
No, again, you know, maybe the nuggets, the chips. Sorry.
I've got a really nice strand at home that I haven't cut up yet. It's quite a small strand. It's 4mm, but it's the dark purple and dark green fluorites.
Oh, I know the ones, yeah.
And I just think those combined with that strand would just look stunning.
Actually, it's so funny that you say that because we've got some
Have we?
fluorite coming up in the final hour of the show. Beautiful blue
We
fluorite,
never see fluorite.
and it's polished rondelles, and these are polished top drill drops. Oh, good work, Sam. How about this for a
Look at-
combination?
This is it. This is exactly what I meant. Look at that. Oh my god.
It's coming from the final hour. Look at that for a combination.
And I swear I didn't know these were coming up. I didn't come down with you this afternoon to
No,
see what
you
was-
didn't know, no.
to see what was coming
It's
on.
just happened to go. But how often do we never, hardly ever have fluorite on the show? We never, well, probably a handful of times I've brought the blue fluorite. This morning, actually, we had some faceted, I think, was it purple fluorite that we had this morning? Well, it was multicoloured fluorite this morning, the faceted rondelles, and that was a sellout like that. So
Yeah, not
I bet that's
surprised.
going to be really
We
popular.
never see it, do we?
That's been a sellout deal.
Has it?
Unsurprising.
Oh, funny
the
that.
top drill drops. Iolite, faceted iolite. Actually, again, as a combination, because you've got the faceted finish on the iolite and the polished finish on the sky blues of the aquamarine. That's quite similar to the tanzanite colours, actually, isn't it? What I was discussing
yes,
as a
yes,
combination.
actually.
Love that. Ooh, if you got hold of the aquamarine at a clearance price of $6.95, and you've already paid your P&P, don't forget, we're about to take this iolite down to the lowest ever price. Start dialing the free phone number as quickly as possible. Oh, hello. Currently available for $11.95. Did I look like I should have a blackboard behind me and hold a doll? I used to hate that thing. Used to have 24-hour broadcasting in mind. I had to wait for TV to start. Right, down from $11.95 to $6.95 for the faceted highlight as well.
Oh, what's he doing?
Why did she look so creepy? Test card was made in like 1971.
I might be wrong, and the viewers might contradict me, but I'm pretty sure she wasn't as young as we thought. I think she was in her late.
I think I've heard
she was in her late
this as well.
20s, early 30s, something like that.
It's on one of the. I think I've heard on one of those
on
like
QI or
talking head shows or
shows,
something.
yeah.
People have said, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she was actually not that young.
Yes.
She was like an intern at
That's right,
somewhere."
yes,
And
that's right. Yeah.
yeah, but it looked weird. I hated that thing. I'm not sure I am at the moment, to be honest. I think I need a little minute to have a little rest after that. Say again? Yeah, I think I'll have a little moment to realise what you've done. Aquamarine, $6.95. Iolite, $6.95. Okay. You guys do what you got to do. I'm just going to have a little...
style.
It's no good. I need a darkened room. Welcome back. It's time for another star buy, and on this occasion we're going to do a double star buy actually. So we're going to bring you a satin cord collection and these beautiful gold and silver plated clasps. I would suggest, can I do it? Be naughty. Start dialing now if you're buying via the phone lines, because we've only got very, very limited quantities. We've got the last in stock. We've got everything that we could bring you. These are the 20mm clasps. You get 10 silver plated, 10 gold plated. I think we saw them earlier. Oh, we saw the design, but I'm not sure if we did see the finish. So that means that in total you get 20 clasps. I mean, they are the perfect way to finish your designs. And I think with the paracord designs, the macrame designs, it is all about the finish. That's what, you know, decides whether it's going to be an everyday piece or an evening design. I suppose you can see how important the kind of the little clip clasps, as they might be referred to, are for these kind of masculine designs. Let's get the price on screen, because online these are already flying out the door. I want to be as fair to everyone as we possibly can be. £6.95 for 20 clasps. What's that, 33p a clasp for gold plated and silver plated clasps. And I mean, when you think of the value that's added to this kind of paracord piece here that you've created, I mean, it really it does show like this is an everyday piece for a gent. This can be
just really just feminises it. And if we've got 30 seconds for a quick tippy demo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really quickly. On the board in front of me there on the overhead, okay, all I've taken is 3 pieces of the paracord. So this is if you don't have a jig and you still want to do basically, you know, if you want to do a basic 3-strand plait. Okay, so imagine I've got my 3 pieces of cord, I've done my braiding, we're going to attach it with the clasp. Really good top tip is, even if you're using satin, anything like that, is just to take a piece of tape, like so, take your 3 pieces of cord, or your 6 pieces, or your 9, and all we're going to do is we're just going to wrap the tip of your cords in the little piece of sellotape, like so. Okay, just give them a bit of a squidge, and as you can see that piece of sellotape is quite thick at the moment, so we want to just thin it down a bit to the thickness of our clasp. So all we're going to do is we're just going to take a sharp pair of scissors, snip them off like so. If you did this without the tape, you'd have lots of frayed ends, you'd get all sorts of nasties. Then all you do then is we just slip the clasp over the top like so. And the way I clamp mine down is always start in the middle, opposite where the little loop is that you're going to pop your clasp on, and just give it the first initial clamp. Then go to one end, clamp, flip it over, clamp again, and then just do it again. So into the middle, flip it over, one side, flip it over, and this side of it. And then you don't get the dents that form. If you did this way, and then you went, it's a bit sort of cack-handed, but if you went to the other side and did it, you end up getting dents. If you clamp one end, flip, clamp, flip, clamp, flip, you get a really nice smooth clamp with no dents, and that's not going to go anywhere. And then you could, using this little loop at the end, you then pop on your jump ring and your clasp, as we've got with the bracelet that you've got over there. So this is for your paracord if you want that sort of evening wear, glamorous, feminine angle to it. But all this will be covered later on in shows and DVDs.
No,
but this is a really nice little technique to keep all your bits together. And that can be for all threads, all the cords, satins, wax cord, everything. Just give it a little cover with some sellotape, cut it to the thickness of the clamp, and then clamp it on using the flip, clamp, flip.
Perfect.
Really nice, yeah.
But we talk all the time, don't we, about the finish, and it's all important. So thanks, Atma. There you go, top tip. Always good to see the demonstrations as well, because sometimes when especially as presenters, when we're talking about them, we're talking a million miles an hour. Sometimes it doesn't click in people's brains, but when you actually see it, it does break it down for people, doesn't it?
So always have a little roll of sellotape in your toolbox. You'll always need that.
Perfect. And you say you can use that technique on satin cord as well.
All of the cords that we've got, absolutely. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you didn't have that, what you find out that as you clamped the clamp, you'd get pieces splaying out the sides.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to poke them
That's
in and
when it
glue them
looks
in.
untidy,
That's
isn't
right,
it? Yeah.
absolutely. So really simple technique, but just make sure that you cut the end on the sellotape off the thickness of your clamp, and it's all get hidden away once you've closed it up.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. That's brilliant. We're about to do a wholesale deal on satin cords now. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 individual colour tones. You get 10 metres of each. They're all 1 mil. All 1 mil gauge. And they're kind of, I suppose you would describe these as gemstone colour tones, really. Like chrome dioxide, amethyst. Then you've got your kind of mandarin garnet. Ah, look at that, like an 18 karat gold. Love that. Oh, that's kind of like a plum tone, actually, isn't it? Hot pink there, you've got your lavender tone, and then your lemon colour tone. So it covers all the seasons and pretty much every colour of the rainbow there. So the combinations you can create would be perfect, especially in macrame, kumihimo weaves. They look amazing, wouldn't they?
I never get tired of our satin cord. I think the colours and the quality of it are just exceptional.
It's as much the finish, isn't it, as anything else. It just looks so high end.
It's amazing.
Oh, our producer sees these kind of words as a challenge, you know, Mark. That's right, well, let's see how low we can go then. That's actually what he said to me. He said, right, let's see how low we can go. So normally if you were to buy 80 metres of 1 mil cord, across the 8 colours, of course, 10 metres of each, it would be $14.60. So that's already less than £2 per reel. Seriously. Less than half price, he says. That's less than £1 per reel now, for 10 metres. You'd be hard pushed, A, to find satin cord of this quality in some craft shops, and if you did, probably be over £1 a metre, let alone less than £1 per 10 metres, and you get 80 metres in total. That is amazing in terms of value.
Gosh.
What was that, sorry? I was just looking. I was looking for that. I was looking for that cabochon pendant again, because I think that's the satin cord, wasn't it? But oh, there you go. It didn't say boo. That was the problem with that. So yeah. So if you got hold of the cabochon deals earlier, you could easily recreate this. You've got the gold that was used in this as part of this collection. Yes. Sorry, I wasn't just walking off in disgust. Although it is a bit shocking, isn't it?
If anyone managed to pick up Sarah's brand new DVD that she launched on this morning's show, the Kumihimo Projects DVD.
Yes.
There's a lot of satin cord used in that for the amazing technique. So if you manage to pick up the DVD, I mean, well worth stocking up with satin cord when it's on an offer like this.
Perfect. So if you grabbed Sarah's DVD, stock up on your satin cord. If you've just grabbed your satin cord and you've paid your P&P, why not add the DVD to your order? Just $4.95. In fact, my good friend Debbie in New Jersey has just multi-bought this. So Debbie's got 160 metres of satin cord heading her way, all the way to New Jersey. Better value than you can get in the States. That's what that says to me.
Yeah.
And Debbie will love a shout out here on Jewellery Maker because she sends lots of texts into the show. And so, good evening to you, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, hopefully we're making it worth your while. Better value than you can get in your hometown of New Jersey. We've discussed this at length, how amazing it would be to go to New Jersey. Partly because I've got a sheltered view of the state, you see, because I'm such a fan of The Sopranos. But Debbie's been telling me about the, you know, the cultural side of the place as well. Oh, in fact, somebody's just text through with an unusual use for the satin cord. It's Fran in London. It says, expensive, maybe, but I use the cord to make ladder weave on my budgie's bird cage. That's amazing. I like that.
That must be the most unusual use we've heard so far.
That's true, isn't it?
I like that.
Oh, Sam's just provided me with another design that features a satin cord as well. It's this soutache style headband. Well, you know what I would say, Fran. Actually, this isn't expensive. It's cheap. All right, come on. Wouldn't be the Late Show if I wasn't cracking rubbish dad jokes. Okay, now we are going to leave that deal with you. You can continue to come through and add that to your order. Coming up, I'm getting excited now. 20 minutes to go. Herkimer Diamonds coming up in 20 minutes time. It is a variety of quartz, but that is an industry name for the gemstone, Herkimer Diamonds. $70 carats of this fantastic gemstone. Double terminated. It is absolutely out of this world. I only have a limited number available, as you would probably expect, and as Mark's been describing previously, just how exciting it is anytime we have a strand of this. We don't have it very often. It is few and far between here at Jewellery Maker. This is sold by some of the biggest designers in the world. You can see the way it sparkles thanks to that fantastic faceting, and we'll talk about that in 20 minutes time. We're going to move on. And now time for more Miss It, Miss Out deals. Having a look at these beautiful golden agate slabs. 500 carats on this particular strand. And these are kind of pear drops almost. There is irregular sizes on these slabs. Range in size from 30 by 25 to 36 by 31, so subtle variations across the strand, not just in terms of the size, but that gorgeous banding. The colour combinations are fantastic, aren't they? The buttercup yellows to the tangerine tones. I'm just looking at the banding on this one. Love it. So some of them have this kind of citrus-like quality. Some of them almost have they look like a desert sunset, don't they? Like graduation of colour tones there. It's fantastic. 500 carats in total already. People showing interest on our free phone number. That's the way to do it here at Jewellery Maker. Get involved as quickly as possible. Let's have a look at the price point this evening. For the last in stock, less than £10 for 500 carats of your orange agate. Quite astounding, really. Again, they do offer you huge amounts of versatility. I'm thinking alongside your smoky quartz from deals again.
Oh yes,
they look gorgeous.
Or really, I keep going back to that purple paracord.
Oh, Cher will be rocking that one, wouldn't she?
That's just amazing. Look at that. I love that.
And you don't have to do that much work when you've got a gemstone that has this much to offer, do you?
No. In the up and coming weeks, we'll be showing you how to cabochon wrap with paracord as well. So you could treat that as a cabochon, even though it's got the drill hole through it.
Yes.
So
that's
perfect.
Sam introduced me to, actually. She said I wasn't that confident with her wire work, so using the drill hole in the slabs allowed her to kind of master the technique she'd use for cabochon wrapping. $9.95 for 500 carats. Amazing deal. If you've placed that in your basket, you know what to do. We're going to move on to our next deal. Again, a gemstone that's doing all the work for you. And I would say for bridal commissions, or maybe just high-end fascinators, for example, tiara twist, very simple technique, because you've got the hand carving with these being little leaf-shaped crystal quartz. You can have those little almost vine leaf style designs.
Oh yes,
Really gorgeous. 7 weeks till Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited. 12 by 8 millimeters in size. So as you can see, it's not just the shape, they have been hand carved on the surface to show that detailing, to make them into little leaves. Actually, Sam again has grabbed a very appropriate design.
Yeah.
Just like a little floral bouquet pendant style, but can you imagine just placing a few of these leaves in there?
Do you know the story behind this piece?
I don't actually.
This is Deb Rudge's first ever Jewellery Maker piece of work when she joined us.
Oh right. That's an impressive screen test, shall we say?
Yeah.
Very good.
Stunning, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, look at that.
Beautiful.
Incredible work. We have got 80 carats of beautiful clear quartz carved leaf beads available for you right now. Those fateful words have just been uttered in my ear. Should be $9.95. For the next 60 minutes, my producer is about to make this strand as accessible as possible, taking it down to the add it to your order price of $6.95. I don't blame it. Producer said every time he does it, he has to correct it because the computer is not bringing the price in. I think it's trying to manage you. I was trying to say, just calm it down a bit, son. You're going way too low. They're going to take my picture down in India if you keep doing this. Anybody that follows either Hannah Oxbury, one of our buying team, or myself on Twitter will know that she's over in India on a buying expedition, and she tweeted a picture earlier of my face up on the wall in the Jewellery Maker office. She said, this guy gets everywhere. Prakash represented. Prakash is the head of our buying team over in India, you see. He's a good friend of mine. I like that he's promoting my presentation skill. But I think if the lapidarists catch you doing this, they're going to take my picture down. I'm not having that. I'm big in India. That's what I'm going with. Okay, we're going to move on because it's time for a bundle deal. This is another classic combination. I think Mark's working with this at the moment, actually. Whenever I say he's already created an incredible piece of jewellery, I always think, we've got him this time. But no. He's already, oh wow. What kind of a weave is that, Mark, to give that all that? Is that Kimhimo? Oh, okay, because I saw you kind of twisting around the bobbins earlier.
It's an 8 strand. If you have your 8 strands on your disc,
Yeah.
north and west are one colour, and south and east are another colour. So
Okay.
the top half is one colour and the bottom half is the other. And then when you do your braid, you don't get a spiral, but you get a really nice sort of block twist. It's a really nice.
So again, I reckon you could use that technique for gents jewellery.
I'd
as
wear
well.
that. I'd
Yeah.
wear that easily. Reminded me of that fashion house beginning with C.
I know the
You
one.
know the one.
I know the one. I know exactly. That is actually what I thought of when you gave me the bracelet. So I
Don't
know
worry.
exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Actually, it's interesting that we're talking about Deb over in New Jersey, and when I spoke to her on Facebook, I did say, how did you come across Jewellery Maker? And she said it was as a result of finding Prue's Kumihimo.
Oh, fantastic.
I think tutorial videos online, and so that's how she was introduced to the world of Jewellery Maker, by finding Prue's Kumihimo.
I would have no. What's the word I'm thinking of? No, I can't think. I'll say it another way.
Okay.
I would sell that no less than £30.
Okay, right, okay.
So all I've used are 2/3 of 2 strands of that 3-pack. So it'll be interesting to see.
So you'd still have a third of the black, third of the gold left, and all of the red.
And all of the red.
And you'd already have made £30.
Yeah, easy.
I mean,
without
you've
doubt.
added a beautiful clasp. I mean, this is what we're talking about when we talk about the finish. That's the way to finish your designs, in my view. But you're right, because people are going to associate this with high-end jewellery design. Yeah. You can explain these are genuine gemstones, black agate, bronze-coated pyrite. Actually, it looks more like traditional pyrite than
Certainly does.
any other strand of pyrite I
Yeah.
see at the moment here at Jewellery Maker. And then you've got these kind of rich kind of pomegranate or cherry tones coming through from the quartzite as well. So they're all 6mm in size.
It's perfect for Kumahime.
And gorgeous combinations. I mean, I suppose traditionally red and gold are kind of seen as festive tones, but at the weekend, Hannah Oxbury was on the show and she was saying she wears gold and red all year round to
Yeah,
match their
that's right.
lipstick.
Yes, that's it, yes.
Okay, 3 strands, and I would definitely advise people to get involved as quickly as possible because my producer seems to be in a very generous mood this evening. Oh, so you'd double your money if you bought these 3 strands individually, Matt?
Well, that's,
It's
okay.
$14.85 any
Okay.
other time. They're already under £5 per strand. He's taking it under £10. £3.32 per strand, and you can see how perfect. Well, is 6mm the ideal size for Kumahime then, Mark?
4 or 6mm.
Right.
It's a size that I can manage. And I think 4 is my ideal size, but 6, as you can see, obviously you use less
Still works
beads.
beautifully.
It doesn't take as long
of course,
to make
yeah,
the
because
beads.
it's covering more area.
That's right, absolutely. I just think that those 2 in particular are really elegant, and I'm using the red with the Herkimer.
With the what, sorry?
With the Herkimer.
With the Herkimer
I know.
quartz.
I know.
Ooh.
And I'm being very, very simple. I'm just doing simple rethreading, but it just looks stunning. So
like that.
Stunning.
I love that combination. There you go. You know, you're never confined to the actual content of a bundle. You're never kind of dictated to in that way. This is just us offering you the best value on the market. How you choose to interpret the bundle, how you choose to use it in your designs is entirely up to you. And you can see here that Mark would treble his money off, well, what, 2/3 of one and 2/3 of the other. And those bronze and black tones, as we described earlier, are so elegant, so perfect for the kind of upscale elite designs that we're looking at. And then you're left with a whole strand of beautiful red quartzite. Can I just give everybody a sneak peek of what Mark's just been describing, the Herkimer quartz and the red quartzite, because it does look rather gorgeous. And it shows off the colour tone of the red quartzite and the cut. There, the faceted edge of the Herkimer quartz. That's coming up for you in 10 minutes time. Very, very exciting opportunity. Ooh. Look at that. If you really wanted to be indulgent, Mike, you could grab 2 strands of these. You could have a choker and a necklace because it looks really dramatic, doesn't it, together? It's coming up in, what, 10 minutes time? Not long to wait at all for the Herkimer quartz, but as I say, it is a limited edition strand, so do get involved as quickly as possible. We're now going to give you another opportunity to add chalcedony to your order this evening. We've seen a few beautiful varieties. We saw the chips earlier in this colour tone, in that the nugget bundle. I always do that when I'm on with you. I know what it is.
What's that?
I was getting chips and nuggets mixed up, but only when I'm with the chips and nuggets expert. Good one, Ed. So yeah, we saw that nugget bundle earlier. We saw the same colour tones as this, but obviously irregularities. These are much more uniformed. Still some irregularity in the size. They range from 10x8 to 15x12, and they're the kind of pillow cuts. And would that be cufflink designs, Matt?
Yeah, I think
I'm
it
learning.
would be.
I'm learning. 200 carats in total. And again, you would probably say this comes from our Gems of Distinction range because of the quality, because of the finish, and the huge carat weights you've got on each and every gemstone, as well as that beautiful waxy lustre that we associate with this gemstone. Lots and lots of people already getting involved. That's the way to do it. That is how you shop in a savvy manner from us here at Jewellery Maker, by getting on the phone lines as quickly as possible to take advantage of the bargains that we can offer you. Let's have a look at our price point this evening, because currently this is available for $11.95. We're not staying there. $7.95 for 200 carats. Go show you everything you're going to get here, because not only do you have that beautiful colour tone, just have a look at the banding. That looks like a K. Love it. because on some you've got that rich royal blue, on others you've got more of the kind of tropical tones coming through. Just gives you so many opportunities. $200 carats. Should be $11.95. If there's any remaining in stock in 60 minutes, that's the price you will pay. Right now, add this to your order for just $7.95. Of course, you can add as many items to your order per day as you wish for just $2.95. $7.95 is your price point this evening for the next 60 minutes. Actually, I'll tell you what, we were talking about this colour combination earlier with the chalcedony and the holiday jewellery right there, isn't it? Stock up now, and then you know that you've got your gemstones in the bag when it comes to putting together your holiday suite. Okay, we are going to move on because we've got a few more deals to fit in before our superstar buy, which is, of course, those beautiful Herkimer quartz coming up in about 5 minutes. Where to, sorry? Okay, gorgeous. Do you know what I put these with? The clear quartz step cut rectangles, you know, the one that we were saying should be in the cut collection.
Oh yes.
I'd put these with the black on it, but it's just a classic monochrome look, heavily faceted. Actually, funnily enough, we're going to take this to the lowest ever price. 90 carats in total. They range in size from 9mm to 13mm. Another gemstone that's used by that designer we were alluding to earlier. Traditionally used as an accent stone, set into, well, into 18 karat gold on many occasions. Yes. We can bring you much larger carat weights than we're used to seeing in this gemstone here. The way we source gemstones, and we bring them to you, offering you the best value on the market. 9mm, ranging up to 13mm. In fact, how about setting these droplets inside those little toggle clasp drops that we were talking earlier? That might look quite good. 90 carats in total, should be $11.95. We're taking it down to the lowest ever price. Get involved as quickly as possible. Wow, just have a look at that luster. It's incredible, isn't it? $8.95. That's amazing when you think about the luster you've got there. It's like walking down the red carpet. Partly because of the depth of colour that you would normally associate with this black onyx, but also because of where the facets are placed. It's almost like they're strategically placed to catch the light, reflect it back at you. $8.95, handing you back the equivalent of your P&P on this particular strand for 90 carats of beautiful black onyx. If you do want to get involved, dial as quickly as possible. Ooh, just had a thought. Down the décolletage with the little stardust sterling silver spaces in between. You like that, Mark?
Perfect.
Really? Still got some limited availability remaining on that. That's good.
We've talked about décolletage, haven't we? The word, that it's that literal translation.
Yes.
Can you remember?
I know that you have told me this before. That's why I was just thinking, like, hold on. I was rooting around in my brain there. Ah, tell me again.
Sideboard.
Oh yes.
So it's not really, it's not a very glamorous word, is it really, once you translate it?
No, but that is the nature of translating from French, isn't it,
Yeah.
to be honest? Never sounds as glamorous, I would say. That reminds me of when Del Boy says about duck à l'orange. He's like, why don't they use more of our words? Oh dear, $8.95 is the clearance price on that particular strand of black onyx. We're going to leave that one with you. We are going to move on because we need to go to a quick break. When we return, our superstar buy, and that means it's time to launch the Herkimer quartz. Don't move a muscle.
It was here almost 650 years ago in Amir where King Jai Singh first laid the foundations that was to become one of the world's most famous walled cities, Jaipur. The city of Jaipur, commonly known as the Pink City, is now taking centre stage for gemstone cutting and trading. It's here in the bursting heart of the walled city that our gems of distinction strands are cut, faceted and polished. So, how do you get a pile of tourmaline that looks like this into a gorgeous strand that looks like this? So when you've got a pile of tourmaline like this, it's going to be made into gemstone beads. First of all, each one of these gemstones need to be inspected. A line is then drawn down the middle of the gemstone or wherever the gem is going to be faceted, and it's then taken behind us and then faceted into these rough gem shapes. Once each gemstone has been cut into the amount of pieces it needs to be, it's then time to shape the gemstones. These gentlemen are working on anything from a round to a pear shape, pretty much any cut imaginable. The next process is polishing, and this takes a huge amount of skill. It can take years for a lapidist to be able to facet like this, and each one of the gemstones can take up to 10 minutes to cut. A really lengthy but incredible process. The next stage of the process is really interesting. This is where each one of the gemstones is drilled. And what Sanjay's doing here is putting a drill through faceted beads of black tourmaline. The next stage after drilling is then to get the gemstones sorted into their appropriate colours and sizes. This can be a really, really lengthy process. Once the gemstones are sorted into different colours and sizes, they're then arranged into these strands and made into strands like this. Now each one of these gemstones could have gone through a 30 to 40 minute process to arrive on a strand like this. It's really quite incredible. If there's one thing that my time in India has taught me, it's the hours of dedicated time that goes into making each one of the gemstones we sell on Jewellery Maker.
Join guest designer Gemma Crow to create incredible jewellery designs with wire mesh. Explore this exciting medium and learn a selection of incredible techniques that will take your jewellery making in another direction. This course includes a selection of colours and gauges of wire, a scoop of mixed gemstones, use of all relevant tools, a buffet-style lunch and refreshments, a tour of the studios and a visit to the Gemporia Museum. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Jewellery Maker, bringing out the designer in you.
Join our guest designer Mark Smith on his Makes for Men DVD. You'll experience many different techniques specifically designed for creating men's jewellery. This DVD will cover how to make a slip knot, railroad bracelet, metal with leather techniques, cufflinks, a wraparound bracelet and a ball chain bracelet. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back to Jewellery Maker. Time for our superstar buy, and it's very, very exciting to bring you this very rare gemstone. We certainly don't have this as often as we'd like to see it here at Jewellery Maker. Traditionally known within the industry as Herkimer diamond, it is a variety of quartz. Of course, we're part of the Genuine Gemstone Company. We like to be as accurate as possible, and so we do refer to it as Herkimer quartz. This particular gemstone is special for a number of reasons. We'll talk a little bit about the history of the gemstone in a little while, but I think one of the most impressive things about this is that when you look at it, it looks expertly faceted, and it has been faceted by the greatest lapidarist of them all. Mother Nature herself. And this is almost a self-faceting gemstone, if you like. It actually forms in a very, very unique way. There's not many gemstones that form in this way. It's called double terminated. And if you look here, you can see the way in which it actually forms from end to end. Now, normally with a gemstone, it will be heavily reliant on a host rock. So you have one rock structure, and then the crystal minerals will form from a number of different elements, but they rely on the original host rock in order to form, and so that's why you get the kind of irregularities in the way it forms, and that's why it has to be faceted and cut in the way it is, and that's why we lose carat weight, for example, when we're cutting. I'll just pick, let's talk about amethyst, for example. If you've ever had the good fortune to come down to the studios, maybe you've attended a workshop or won a competition or what have you, and you've come down and you've visited the museum, you will have seen Steve Bennett's geodes. These are huge crystal structures, basically a whole slab of amethyst extracted from the ground, and you can see the way in which the amethyst crystals have formed against the host rock, and then they've been pushed and pulled by the pressure and the temperatures underground. And that's why you get this kind of irregular, kind of jagged effect from the gemstone. Then we cut those into smaller, perfect cuts. Herkimer quartz doesn't form like other varieties of quartz, which amethyst is, of course. Instead, it doesn't rely on a host rock at all. It's almost kind of suspended between, they're kind of like lumps of clay, we find them within, and they're suspended within that. And when they form lengthways, and they're already terminated at either end, so they're double terminated, and that way when we extract them they're already faceted, so they come out the ground looking like this. Absolutely fantastic, because it does bring so much interest and dynamism to your designs, but also still retains that organic quality to it, which I think a lot of people are looking for, particularly people who have a passion for gemstones and gemology. From the flip side of the coin, if you like, and if you take gemology in another direction, I know that because they are doubly terminated, because they do create in this way, they're traditionally associated with crystal healing and metaphysical areas that rely on gemstone rituals, if you like. And that's because it's thought that energy sources can flow both ways through the gemstone because of the way it's formed. I am not knowledgeable about that, and I wouldn't suggest you buy it for that reason, but I know that Herkimer quartz is traditionally associated with that, and that's why I mention it. Actually, Mark's created a really beautiful piece of jewellery, and when you see a lot of the designs that are sort of linked towards those kind of metaphysical properties, they tend to have one piece of Herkimer quartz as a pendant design, and it's for that kind of buy into that ideal that the energy sources will flow through your body. So as I say, I'm not knowledgeable about that, but because they do have strong links with that, I thought I would make reference to it. Now, from my point of view, Herkimer quartz is really interesting, partly also because of the way it was discovered, and as a result the way it was named and formed. When this comes traditionally from a region in New York, part of the state, in the Mohawk Valley, and when they started to basically dig through those areas that I suppose would have been indigenous to Native Americans originally, they basically decided, oh, we're going to build roads through here, so we'll start digging up the land. And what happened was the miners found these crystal structures underground, and they thought they found diamonds, and that's why it's referred to as a Herkimer diamond. The actual region of the state is called the Herkimer Valley, and so that's what they're named after. So that's why it's sometimes referred to as Herkimer diamonds, because that's what the miners thought they'd found when they started digging up that region. Of course, then we discovered that it was a variety of quartz, but a very, very rare variety of quartz because of the way it forms. For me, I think from a design point of view as well, they literally tick every box, don't they? Because they have the interest and organic qualities of a rutile quartz. They're faceted and sparkle like a diamond. So I can't see any box they're not ticking from a design point of view. And because of neutrality, giving you the black and white tones, I mean, you can see here in Mark's other kind of design, kind of like a feature necklace, how well they allow other gemstones to be brought into the design process. That red quartzite just pops against the backdrop of the Herkimer quartz, doesn't it? Do you like working with this, Mark?
It's beautiful. And I mean, I'm not an advocate of crystal healing or hidden powers or something like that, but I always think, you know, these stones have been in the ground millions of years. Mm-hmm. There must be something more to them. And just working with them, it just completely just makes you relax and peaceful. It was bizarre, actually. No, I definitely felt something.
There you go. So if you're somebody who's already in tune with that side of things, then this might be of interest to you. 70 carats of Herkimer quartz here, and as I say, it almost looks like one of the most heavily faceted gemstones I've ever brought you, and yet all of that's been done by Mother Nature. It's incredible, isn't it? Can we have a look at the recording again, please, Director Bruce, because you can really see the way the facets benefit the gemstone. I mean, this is much closer to daylight than our studio lighting is, and look at the way it sparkles. It's fantastic, isn't it? I almost think the inclusions, almost like rutilations, actually add to that, because they bend the light, don't they, once it enters the gemstone, and the facets allow it to really sparkle beautifully.
So if you chose one of those stones in particular, it doesn't matter which one, where would it attach itself?
Say that again, sorry.
Where would it be attached?
Okay, so the valley itself is like predominantly just clay, and they're just suspended.
Oh, they're suspended?
Yeah, they're suspended within the clay. So if you see them, they actually grow horizontally within the clay, but they're just...
Singly, like that?
I imagine these might have been cut from larger... Oh no, they can't have been.
No.
They must have been all just suspended like that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can, sorry, the reason I say that is that I have seen much larger carat weights suspended, so you can imagine you can get huge Herkimer quartz. I've seen some larger nuggets as well.
Wow.
But yeah, these would have all just been little tiny. That's why they probably thought, we struck gold here, lads, we found some diamonds. Mind you, they weren't wrong, because they are pretty gorgeous, aren't they?
Yep.
Okay, now we have been indulging in this gemstone for some time, and lots of people have flown through. Most people multi-buying this, actually. If you've got it in your basket, you need to start checking out. We haven't even revealed our premier price point this evening, which is $9.95.
Oh dear.
Over half the stock had already been allocated via our website. All of a sudden the phone lines have lit up like a Christmas tree because of that incredible launch price. Can't guarantee it will be at that price point tomorrow at 9 AM. Can't guarantee there'll be any of these left at 9 AM tomorrow morning. I imagine some people were waiting to see $49.95, $39.95, but $9.95 is our price point this evening. And so many people enamoured by the history and the interest that this gemstone presents. Some people are grabbing 2, 3, even 4 strands of this. Yasmin, you've got 4 of these, so congratulations to you. I mean, it is incredible. And it doesn't really matter what the reason is for you buying this. I can imagine collectors buying this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
So
but I mean, that's probably why people are buying 2, one for themselves to keep as a collector's strand.
Yes.
And then the second one to make jewellery or bespoke commissions with. That's amazing.
I can see that. I mean,
wow.
you know, that's what I mean. They do tend to cover the messages. So from a gemological point of view, from a design point of view, and of course from the metaphysical point of view as well. They're really, really popular, aren't they? $9.95. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay, over 20 people with this in their basket as well. Is that right? Okay, we've got roughly 40 of these remaining in stock, but probably 20 of those are probably in people's baskets. We started with 169, and we've got just 40 strands remaining in stock, 20 of which are held in people's baskets. So check out to avoid disappointment. There you go, we've got lots of buyers coming in from the States, actually, so maybe you're already aware of the history attached to this and the length and breadth of the UK. We're not neglecting you either. Don't know why we get so excited about being a global company, but of course if you are somebody who traditionally shops via our phone line and you do want to get ahead of the game, it is normally a little bit more beneficial to get involved online. Of course, we are a global company, so you'll find us at JewelleryMaker.com. $9.95 is the price point for this particular show. We are going to have to move on because we've got so much to fit in before the end of the show. I could happily talk about Herkimer quartz all night, but I'm getting in trouble now from my producer. He says, come on, Ed. Come on, Ed. We know you love it, but well, I think everybody else does as well, actually. Okay, let's move on. And we're going to start with a few clearance deals. I should just say, if you want to maximise on your Herkimer quartz by making droplet-style earrings, gold-plated sterling silver shepherd hooks coming up in about 15 minutes' time, so not long to wait at all for another wholesale deal on essential findings. Right now, a double deal on your pink coated quartz. No way. Pink coated topaz. Okay. Well, this is very reminiscent of particular varieties of topaz that used to see quite a lot of on our sister channel, Gems TV, when I was a producer. Bruce, you'll be familiar with these because you used to be my director when I was producing on that channel. I'm thinking of flamingo topaz, peony topaz, which used to gain sort of three-figure sums. Now we have the opportunity to work with the same gemstone, the same colour tone. Of course, we've created that colour by giving it this beautiful coating, but it has the same finish as any other topaz, and of course it offers you that 60 carats on each strand, 120 carats in total. They range in size from 6x5 to 13x8. You can pay hefty price points to get topaz into your collection, often less than half a carat being used on the high street. Wow, 120 carats for $22.95, so it should be $39.95 down to $22.95. Oh right, so sorry, they're normally $19.95 each, so it should be $39.90. I think that's a slip of the tongue there. So it should be $39.90 down to $22.95. There you go. So over £15 worth of savings here for 120 carats of beautiful pink coloured topaz. We're going to move on. This is, I referred to this earlier, it's the only birthstone jewellery I own because I'm a June baby, and Rainbow Moonstone is the birthstone for June. He shares it with pearls, but it's a little more difficult for gents to pull off pearls, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I keep seeing the adularescence. As soon as I turn it towards the camera, I lose it because of the studio lighting. Try and find a bit that literally every time I turn it towards it, I'm losing it. Oh, on the face of a gemstone I'm looking at, I can see blues, greens and purples. Can we see any of that on the screen? Oh, yeah, there we go. Got a little bit on screen. These graduate in size from 8x5 to 19x8. Again, 60 carats per strand, 120 carats as part of this deal. Should be $19.90. It's normally $9.95 per strand for Rainbow Moonstone. Buy one, get one for £3 this evening. $12.95 for 120 carats. What is going on? $12.95, so that represents a huge saving this evening. A clearance deal. Of course, it's only available for 60 minutes, so if you do want to take advantage, you need to be coming through on that free phone number as quickly as possible. We are going to keep it moving because I was so indulgent on the Herkimer quartz, and we've got so many deals to fit in. Can I just make everybody aware of one particular strand? One of my favourite gemstones. It just keeps winking at me, and I can't. I keep getting distracted, Mark.
Oh, I know why. This
I
is
would
this
say
is yeah, okay.
This is one of the nicest strands of morganite we've had on Jewellery Maker, maybe ever, certainly for some time. And I think sometimes when we look at the morganite, people think, I'm looking for a little more sparkle, a little more clarity. This strand has just that. It's coming up very, very soon. Sorry, you kept distracting me, so I had to make reference to it. Oh, these are absolutely fantastic. How about these alongside that smoky quartz from earlier, Mark, the rondelles?
Wow, I like
It's a different kind of sparkle, isn't it? But they're similar size. Actually, I mean, these could go with anything, couldn't they?
I don't think I've ever seen crackled quartz in the rondelle before.
Oh, I
Come
think
to think
so.
of
It's
it.
pretty rare, isn't it? Even though we see like really elaborate cuts, like the hearts earlier, for example, but we don't see rondelles that often, do we?
No.
That's strange, actually, isn't it?
Perfect.
Oh well, we've got them now, and we've doubled up. So you're going to get 200 carats as part of this deal. Again, very, very precise cutting, polished again beautifully. So I like the polished rondelles, you know, because we see a lot of faceted rondelles. So when you get the polished variety, it's really, really useful.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Again, for Kumahimo, I mean, that would just be... Oh, the two of them. Imagine that and the smoky quartz with the spiral.
I like that, but yeah, spiraling around. There you go. That's a design right there. If you got the smoky quartz, just dial the free phone number. The design's done for you. 200 carats in total. They're 6x4mm in size. Should be. No way. They're normally $7.95. Are they? Fair enough. That was genuine shock. Just coming out on screen. Sorry, guys. I thought they'd normally be a lot more than that. I thought they would normally be like $12.95 per strand. So you're getting these for $4.99, $4.98. Less than £5 per strand. Look how many rondelles you actually get because they're a delicate size, and you've got 100 carats on each strand. Wow, that is amazing. I mean, again, bridal commissions, or, oh, actually, floral motifs. I'm thinking, you know, the little spray that people like to have, or even in fascinators, for example, or even a wire work bouquet.
Yeah, that'd be
They look
nice.
amazing. They could be like little dewdrops in the design. At least I've got my creative juices flowing. I'm going home to make some jewellery. I'll see you later. I'm getting in trouble now. Oh wow, Tracy's grabbing 3. She's been inspired. Margaret's got 2. Lots of inspiration coming from this strand. £4.98 per strand, and you get 200 carats in total. Again, it's another gemstone that I think is going to do a lot of the work for you. How many of this bundle did you have in stock? Oh, we had 40 to begin with, but I think if everybody was to check out their basket, they'd all be gone. So we better move on to our next deal. Now we looked at this earlier today, didn't we? And this is kind of one of the more traditional cuts we see in the crackled quartz, but these are like, there's only one way to describe them. Confectionery style colour tones. Like candy pop colours, if you like. Look at these. I wonder what Mark could do with this. If you did colour graduate this out there, I mean, imagine how many beautiful macrame bracelets or even pairs of earrings just you could make out of these.
They're really rich as well, aren't they? I mean, they're really, really dark colours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the greens are quite pastel, but the rest are very, very bright, aren't they? Mind you, the saturation of colour on the greens is still quite heavy. I mean, love those tangerine tones. Sky blues, egg yolk yellows, bubblegum pinks. Actually, these would be great if you had, you know, some people like to introduce these style of crafting, so like brownie troops and youth groups, that kind of thing. These would be good for youngsters, wouldn't they? Because the colour tones in themselves are quite inspiring, really, I think, because it just inspires creativity. It makes you feel happy when you see colour tones like this, doesn't it? I mean, it's almost like looking at the Jewellery Maker logo, actually, isn't it? There you go. 140 carats on each strand. They are actually faceted on the outer edge as well, so you get the points, the texture from the crackled inclusions, but you also get the sparkle from the facets. 280 carats in total, should be 1990. Seriously? I'll tell you what, he is in a seriously good mood tonight, Leo. Buy one, get one for £1. I won't tell you what he said. There you go. Buy one, get one for £1. That's what happens when your first day is also your last, the day before your last day at work. £10.95. Buy one, get one for £1. I'm amazed. £10.95 for 280 carats of multicolour quartz. Okay, huge numbers of people coming through on that particular deal. Congratulations if you have grabbed that. Ooh. No, I'm just admiring number 8. I know it's not part of this section, but I'm just admiring it. Have a look at this. And we both like this as well earlier, didn't we? This is another one that we were drawn to. It's another variety of boulder opal, this time more of the kind of icy white snow tones.
That's very delicate, isn't it?
Almost it's like a blizzard, isn't it? Right,
with those,
so
with that smoky quartz that we had earlier, and then that clear quartz crackled that we just had then.
You can definitely see it alongside these, absolutely.
Because the faceting, there's no faceting, is there, in the rondelle, so it doesn't take anything away from.
No.
Oh, look at. See, the quartz takes on the colour of the opal, doesn't it?
Yeah. It is, isn't it? You can see the greys coming through on that.
And with that, and I said that the paler of the two smoky quartzes with them, that'd be perfect.
I like that. I really like that. These are graduated in size. They range from 10x4 to 15x6. You get 180 carats of boulder opal in total. Should be. Are you kidding me? These are from our Gems of Distinction range, but they're normally £7.95 per strand, Matt. Does that sound right to you?
Normal price?
Yeah.
For 2?
Less than £5 per strand for boulder opal of this quality. It's an amazing deal. Imagine how difficult it is just to mine for this on the other side of the world. This comes from Australia, traditionally, boulder opal. That's exactly where these strands have come from. Couldn't even pay the airfare. That's amazing. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm actually shocked. This has been sourced by our Indian buying office. I was expecting to see, kind of an elite price point. Under £5 per strand. Can you just check the image online that they haven't sent the wrong strand, though, Leah? Yep. He is correct. He says he's had it guaranteed. I just thought, sometimes somebody might have sent the wrong strand down, but nope. This is exactly the price point we normally offer you. Only producer Liam going above and beyond this evening. Less than £5 per strand. Still huge numbers of people coming through at JewelleryMaker.com. To add this to the basket, you do need to check out as the phone buyers start to come through. We are going to move on from that deal. That is a little bit ridiculous, actually. I shouldn't say that, I suppose, but that's what we do here at Jewellery Maker. Wow, some people multi-buying now, no wonder. Okay, we're going to move on, and I think I'm right in saying it's time for another Star Buy. welcome back to what I believe is the final star buy for the evening. Is that right? Oh, he says maybe. So he's in a really good mood tonight, isn't he? That's the benefit to all of you out there, my producer, going above and beyond. Now, we talk about this quite a lot here at Jewellery Maker, particularly, you know, when we're joined by somebody who's had so much success at the craft fairs. So I was talking about this around about Christmas time with Jan, because she sells a lot of her designs. Of course, Matt is synonymous with craft fair shows, aren't you, Matt? This is one of your... Yeah. And this is something that you got into quite early, when she kind of mastered the basics of jewellery making.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was the fact that I was making all this jewellery, but I couldn't actually wear any of it.
Of course.
And it was just sitting in boxes. So I thought, how can I, you know, make a bit of money to continue the hobby, to buy more gemstones and to keep the hobby going. So that's purely how I got into craft fairs and jewellery parties and that sort of thing. And the first thing I did was I had a jewellery party at home. Right. I invited friends and family and neighbours. Okay. And your friends are your best critics, so they would tell me if it was too expensive, if I hadn't charged enough, or they didn't like the layout, or they didn't like the amount of jewellery I had, or the colours. Okay. And it just went from there, really. So that was the main reason I got into. Do you mention that on your DVD, your craft fair tips? Because I think that is a fantastic tip to tell people. Having a dry run at home. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mentioned it on the show quite a few times when we have craft fair related shows, but that's the best thing ever, is just to have a dry run at home. So set your dining room table out as though it was a craft fair. Yeah. And put your bunting up or whatever, or your lights, completely as though you were in a town hall somewhere. Love it. And then get your friends and family round. And of course, like you say, I mean, I've said this on quite a few times, I come from a family of very strong, independent women. If I said, right, this one's 50 quid, ladies, they'd be like, 50 quid, Ed, I'm not paying that. So then, so straight away, you know, like, right, that's what the, because your friends are honest. Your friends are honest. Yeah. If you did a craft fair for the first time without going through this practice, people would come up, they'd look at your labels, they'd put them down and they'd walk off. Yes. You wouldn't know if it was too expensive, it wasn't enough, it was the wrong gemstones. So yeah, so always have a dry run at home first of all before you do anything. That is one of the best tips I've heard about craft fairs, actually, and it's not even reference to craft fairs. Everyone buys something as well, so it's a bonus. Because once they've been horrible, they feel like I'll bet buy something. And if one of the guests have a party at their house and invite their friends, and then one of their friends, you know, it snowballs, and that's how word of mouth gets out, and that's how you get invited to school events and fetes and Christmas events and things like that. Word of mouth spreads. Absolutely. They say, oh, I know this guy who makes jewellery. Yep. So your neighbourhood is your best advertising, without a doubt. Fantastic. And of course, as you rightly said, it's the best avenue for actually kind of self-perpetuating the hobby, because as you sell something, you can reinvest the money in more stock, as it were. If I didn't sell the jewellery, you know, I would think, well, what's the point? Because it's all sitting in shoeboxes under my bed. Doing nothing, which is really sad, actually. When you see a pile of made-up jewellery with no home to go to, it's. And I imagine it's equally as rewarding when you see somebody who's over the moon by buying a piece of your jewellery. Right. And what I've heard so many times, especially on Wall of Fame, is that a lady will make a piece of jewellery and go to work, or go to pick this, do the school run, and a friend of theirs will say, "Oh, I love that. Could you make me one?" They're a clothes horse for their jewellery, where I can't do that. You see, so yeah, absolutely. So it's quite difficult. So I'm not doing too bad for you. No. I'm adorned in your jewellery, Mark. No, that's why. That's where the whole paracord thing comes about, you see, because I can wear things like that. Yes. And they're so quick and easy to do that you get so many commissions. Fantastic. So, ace. Yeah. Well, the reason I start to allude towards craft fairs, of course, is because once you start to sell your designs, it won't be long before you want to push those prices up, partly for for yourself to try and feel rewarded for the work you're doing, and partly because your customers will start to expect the best of the best. That's exactly what we have for you right now. Shepherd hook earrings, one of the biggest sellers at all craft fair events, even if you are selling it in your own dining room. And 925 sterling silver is one draw, but gold-plated 925 sterling silver is what I consider to be the best of the best, certainly here at Jewellery Maker. I always call it high-end on top of high-end. And there are huge numbers of people already coming through, and I haven't even revealed the fact that we're about to give you a star buy
price reduction. The lowest ever price, in fact, should be $8.95. We're about to take gold-plated sterling silver down to the clearance price of $6.95. You get 20 pairs. You get 20, what?
10 pairs.
No, you get 10 pairs. Oh, do you know what? I think I need glasses. I thought that said PRS, it says PCS. Yeah, so 20 pieces, 10 pairs in total for $6.95.
Sterling silver shepherd's hooks, gold plated for
Yep.
70p, well 69p.
Yeah. 70p per pair. That's amazing, isn't it? Because I imagine when you're selling gold-plated sterling silver, that does push the price point up. Is that right?
Yeah,
But
certainly does.
you've said to me in the past you tend to have the same design of earring, but you have it in base metal,
No, I
sterling
have
silver.
all
and
of
gold.
my earrings especially, I
Yeah.
have all sterling silver.
Okay.
But if a customer would prefer to have it in gold or copper,
Yeah.
then I have a stash of extra findings that I can,
Right.
I can swap
So it's
and
like
change them over.
£5 less for copper, £5 more for
Yeah,
gold.
all my earrings start at £5, and that's all sterling silver.
Right.
If they did want something, I mean, children for one, you know, buying something for mummy or for grandma, something like that, you know, and sometimes I always say, oh, you have,
yeah.
But no, because I always have a stash, and then just take them down to £3 a pair, depending
Oh,
on
okay,
gemstone,
£3,
that sort of
that's
thing,
good
yeah.
scale.
But for necklaces and bracelets, if I have sterling silver or sterling silver gold plated, I add £5
Right.
to the cost of the piece
Okay.
straight away, just with a clasp and jump ring.
That's another top tip, I suppose. So if you are just setting out, because there are going to be a lot of people who now in 2015 are starting to think, maybe like your good self, what am I going to do with all this?
Yeah.
Maybe I should start sending my designs.
Yeah.
Never be afraid, because you know, you've had great success, but Jan was saying, you know, you never really get over that feeling like when you first start, is it actually good enough to sell? But the best way to find out is to basically jump in at the deep end.
I had 3 fairs last year
Right.
that I made enough money to cover my pitch. That was it.
Really?
And at that point, I've met lots of people on the workshops, especially, who give up then.
Right, okay.
You know, but they should. You
Oh,
never
so
know.
because they'd only broken even, they thought, oh well, this isn't
It's
really
not
an
working.
enterprise
I mean,
that's
you
going to work.
don't know who's going to walk through that door, do you? You know, it's.
Absolutely not.
So even with my big table and all my jewellery and everything, you know, I can have off days as well.
Yeah,
You know, but I don't, because it's the social aspect of it as well more than anything. So.
That's what Sam
Yeah.
Says she enjoys most about it.
Yeah.
Not the money she makes, but actually
Meeting
the
people
kind of
and-
the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
Incidentally, you know, you just made reference there to people attending your workshops, and you've got a workshop coming up pretty soon, haven't you?
Well, it's good actually. As you know, Wendy came in on our show on Friday.
She did, yeah.
To give some good news about a brand new workshop of mine, which is wirework macrame.
Yes.
Now the workshop on I think it's the 29th of this month is sold out. It's been sold out before Christmas.
Yeah.
So she kindly came onto the show that day to say there is another one on a Saturday in March, and before the end of the show, if you remember,
I sent her
sold out.
upstairs. I said, you're going to be getting phone calls right now. She came back
Yeah.
20 minutes later to say it's sold out.
It's sold out. So we've done a rejigging of the itinerary for April, and we've managed to get another Saturday date for the wirework macrame, which is the 18th, Saturday the 18th.
So even if you work, you can still
You
attend
can still
the
come
workshop.
on the workshop. Yeah, so Saturday the 18th. It's going online tomorrow. So if you want to get first dibs on Wendy tomorrow morning, give her a ring on the 0800 number
Yeah.
and ask for Wendy, who does the workshop. So that's Saturday the 18th.
Yeah.
And from February onwards, we're rejigging the Chips and Nuggets workshop, because I've done this workshop now for 2 years.
Wow.
And it's a bit samey for me as well. I want to do something a bit
Yeah,
different.
you're going to freshen it up.
So
haven't you?
as from the February Chips and Nuggets workshop, the morning is going to be a conglomeration of all of the techniques that we're learning now
yeah.
on the basic chips and nuggets, and in the afternoon it's going to be brand new techniques that I've not shown at a workshop before, lots of wire, and so it's going to be an accumulation of all the DVDs, but all brought together into one day. So it's going to be a really full-on day.
Oh, nice.
But with new techniques and new gemstones, and just to make it a bit exciting for me as well,
Yeah,
because
of course. Well, the thing
because
is,
it's nice meeting all the ladies, but having to do the same techniques month after month, and this has been for 2 years now.
Yep.
So we've done a clean slate. So from February, the Chips and Nugget workshop is going to be brand new, and we're going to do VTs and an itinerary of what to expect as well.
But when you are teaching people, you need to feel impassioned about what you're
Yes,
doing.
well, I do,
No,
but
no,
I just think, because
Yeah.
I've come along such a long way, and I've learnt new techniques now that
you want to share
I want
those?
to share them with the customers and the viewers. So,
Fantastic.
So as from February, the Chips and Nuggets workshop is going to be rejiggled, and like I said, brand new techniques, new materials, new gemstones. So watch this space.
Oh, it's a great indictment of how
Yes.
Jewellery Maker as a whole has grown, but also you as a designer.
And it has for me as well, without doubt. Yeah,
fantastic. There you
absolutely,
go.
yeah.
Chips and Nuggets.
Yeah.
Point 2.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Mark.
Thank
That's
you,
great
Phil. Thank you.
insight. And of course, if you have just managed to grab those at a clearance price, that price will be available for 60 minutes. You can add as many as you wish to your order. Okay, half the stock's now been allocated on that, but those are kind of a staple item here. So that is a huge number of shepherd hooks to have sold in such a short space of time. Am I right in thinking we can do this now? I'm really excited about this, Jan. This is one of my favourite gemstones. Now, I always get excited about morganite. I think regular viewers will know that I do like my my girly colour tones. I don't know what it is, but part of it is because I am passionate about selling gemstones, because I love the idea of people being able to add luxury gemstones to their collections, and I think that's really what the Genuine Gemstone Company is all about. Whether you're shopping from Gems TV, Rocks TV in America, or Jewellery Maker, or Gem Collector, for example.
Yep.
It's about the idea that, you know, the big boys, if you like, have kept this as a kind of elitist corner of the market for so long, and the Bennett family have built up these relationships with mine owners. They want to not only responsibly transfer Mother Nature's creations, but also give everyone the chance to own them and add them to their collection. And I think Jewellery Maker is one of the best ways of doing that, actually, because whether you create your own designs, so you know you have a bespoke finish, or whether you just use the Gems of Distinction range to create a personal gemstone collection, you know you're getting good quality gemstones, you know they're the real deal, and you know you've paid the best possible price. Now, morganite for me is a fairly uncompromising gemstone, because it doesn't matter whether it's a heavily included gemstone or whether you're being offered that faceted clarity. If you've got more inclusions, you tend to have deeper saturation of colour, which is always exciting because you've got those silk-like inclusions giving you those Parisian pinks. If you've got a gemstone that does offer you clarity, that can be faceted, then we're talking about the kind of gemstones that would traditionally be set into sometimes sterling silver, although I only ever really see morganite being set into sterling silver on Gemporia's website, to be honest. I haven't seen that from other outlets, but that might just be that I'm looking in the wrong place. Traditionally, when I see it on the high street, 9 karat gold or even 18 karat gold. Okay, I only have 11 of these available, so I had 11 of these available. I'm down to single figures now. When I talk to my producer about this gemstone, sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit confused, because maybe it's just my own personal passion for the gemstone that I think, how come there's any of these left? Why didn't they fly out the door? And you know, quite rightly, my producer will say to me, because he does his research as well, say, I think that when people aren't educated in morganite like you are, Ed, and they just look online at the designs, what they see isn't the more heavily included morganite, it's this. This is what people see the first time they look for morganite. They see the soft, feminine pink tones, and they see that sparkle, they see that clarity. So maybe there is a compromise to be made with morganite for some people, and they like just to have the gemstone in their collection. They're passionate about it like me. Maybe some people are at the other end of the spectrum and they want top quality morganite, the kind of items they would see set into 18 karat gold elsewhere. As far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what we have for you tonight, so it's very exciting from my point of view. They range in size from 2x1mm up to 6x4mm in size. Gorgeous clarity, beautiful sparkle, and yet you still have that feminine pink tone coming through. This, for me, again, hate to use that phrase again, but it's just the best of the best. This is what I would suggest is the finest strand of morganite I think I've ever seen here at Jewellery Maker. Currently, This is available on our website for $47.95. Wow, for 35 carats. And we're not even staying there. We are going to give you a price reduction. It will only be available for the next 6 months, or more likely while stocks last. We've got single figures remaining stock. It's $39.95. Wow. That is an amazing deal. 35, a little over £1 a carat. But as I said, I mean, the morganite, I've sold morganite like this, set into 18 karat gold when I was a producer on Gems TV. That's my perception of this strand. As you know, I mean, I've been working in the industry for a long time. I'm about to take my GIA qualification to become a gemologist, and this is how I view this gemstone: top quality morganite. We have got a handful remaining in stock. We've got people coming through on the phone lines, as well as people showing an interest by placing this in their basket. You've got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's a risk-free shopping experience here. If you get this home, if you see this in the flesh, you will instantly fall in love with this. I mean, this is crying out to be set into your gold-plated sterling silver. There's no two ways about it. As I say, best of the best. Congratulations, Belinda, Helen, Hazel, Brenda, Debbie. If you're grabbing this, you will not be disappointed, I assure you of that. Absolutely awesome, of course, one of the premier members of the Beryl family. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, quite recently, here on The Late Show, we actually took some Colombian emerald to a clearance price. I know it sounds ridiculous, but can you imagine teaming up for the spring season morganite and Colombian emerald, the two most luxurious members of the Beryl family, in one design? That's like a dream, isn't it? Oh, okay, so we've got 3 remaining in stock, and we've got 5 people with it in their basket, so you need to check out now. In fact, some people may well miss out on this deal now, so we're going to leave that one with you. Amazing opportunity, especially at that clearance price. Please don't miss out on that deal, certainly not before you've seen it in the flesh, because what you're seeing on screen doesn't do that strand justice. Unbelievable. We are going to move on, because we did show you this strand earlier. It'd be unfair not to bring you the opportunity to own it, even though Mark would quite like that, because it meant he could go looking for it when he got home. It's that strand of fluorite we looked at earlier. We did have a variety of multicoloured faceted rondelles on the show this morning, but it was a sellout deal. So if you missed out on that, we want to give you another opportunity to own this beautiful blue fluorite, one of the rarer varieties. We don't see this every single day here at Jewellery Maker. And of course, fluorite is famed for the fluorescence that it possesses. Really interesting kind of optical effect. It's a scientific effect. What actually happens is when ultraviolet rays enter the gemstone, it actually increases the activity of the electrons inside the gemstone. That's why when you see it in a different light source, it's actually the electrons falling down inside the gemstone that provides you with that fluorescence. I was reading about it earlier. It's incredible, really, isn't it? Traditionally, you see the blue tones in the fluorescence, of course, but that's just because of the fact that blue travels faster than other colour tones. You can see pinks and greens and yellows as well in there. Incredible, really.
It's number 3 in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
So aquamarine, labradorite, and then fluorite.
Yep.
And why do you love it then?
I just like the different colours you can get in one strand, right from the whites, right through the minty greens, the yellows that we've been seeing over the past year,
Yep.
right through the dark greens into the purples. I just love it.
It's incredible,
I love
isn't
the
it?
strand.
So it's more to do with the spectrum of colour that you can
Yes.
see. Oh,
Yes,
I
yeah.
thought you'd put it on because everybody was flying in. Again, gems of distinction quality for less than £10. Okay, I've got single figures remaining in stock on this particular deal. Again, if you've got it in your basket, definitely check out to avoid disappointment, especially if you've got your P&P up and running, because there's just no risk involved, is it? You just get it home, see it in the flesh. I mean, I'm just thinking of the kind of inner glow. You can't see the colour tone coming through, but you can certainly see the inner glow there.
So just 2 strands on a simple stretchy bracelet. I mean, I'd happily wear that. That'd just be beautiful.
You could even put those little sterling silver
the stardust
spaces in between.
Yeah,
They'd be amazing. Okay, it looks like that is going to be a sellout deal. I think we're oversubscribed on that one. We're going to move on. You're going to love this, Matt. I'll show you this design first, actually.
Okay.
This is Sue put this together, and we had a bit of a focus on aquamarine. I did reference the fact that it was your favourite gemstone at the moment, actually. This goes to show the variations that you get in aquamarine as a form of beryl. Very similar to what we were discussing with the morganite, of course. The greater the inclusions, the greater the colour saturation. That's exactly the same for aquamarine. It comes from the same gemstone family, beautiful variety of beryl, and it's iron as opposed to manganese in aquamarine that gives you this colour saturation. As you can see here, I mean, those are almost kind of seafoam greens, aren't they, that you've got in the rondelles, and then you've got the icy blues, which are more traditionally associated with aquamarine. So we've created a little aquamarine bundle here. Do you love that combination?
I've never heard of moss aquamarine before.
I suppose it must have a much deeper concentration of iron in there to give you the greens,
It's got
and
a
even
sort
the
of
golden
labradorite
tones.
hue about it, hasn't it?
Yes, similar.
Yeah.
Well, you see
I've never seen this.
different variations on labradorite, don't you? Like the charcoal
Yes,
greys,
that's right.
the pebble
Yes.
greys, and then you get the greenish tones, almost like moss greens actually, and that's what you've got here in this aquamarine.
Wow, I've never seen this before.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
Oh, have we had this then?
I think I've seen it once or twice.
Okay.
Not very frequently, you know, probably like 3 months ago and 6 months
Because
ago.
once a week, when I've got a spare 2 hours, I go onto our website and I look at every single item. And then I still come through onto the Late Show and see things that I must have missed.
Do you know what? Like I say, you know, obviously, you know, I used to be the manager. I used to be a big part of the process here. And yet, sometimes I see items and I think, I've never seen this before.
No.
Sometimes we have items and I say, I've never seen it before. I say, or rather I say, that's new to me. And, and Liam will say, yeah, you have. You sold it 2 weeks ago, Ed. But, you know, like, the gemstones are so mesmerising, aren't they? That sometimes you forget that you've seen it. Amazing deal here. We've doubled up on aquamarine to bring you this fantastic collection here. Moss aquamarine and the classic icy blues. Means that you get 175 carats of aquamarine across the 2 strands, both from our Gems of Distinction range. Any other time, you would pay $32.90. Already amazing value when you consider that both of these are coming from our Gems of Distinction range. Top quality aquamarine here, moss aquamarine, and the faceted aquamarine. Faceted droplets. Oh, I love the way they've actually placed one of each on the end of the extension. That's a lovely little designer touch there, isn't it? So should be over £30 this evening, $21.95. So there you go. Sue's put that together for us.
Recently, Debbie Bolford kindly sat me down for 10 minutes and showed me how to do Byzantine chainmail. And I've made a bracelet with little Byzantine sections with a labradorite. And I'm just thinking how that strand of that moss would look with a Byzantine chainmail bracelet. I mean, it gives me opportunity now to wear aquamarine, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love chainmail jewelry. You know that. Yeah. That's pretty much the only thing I can do.
It's got me thinking.
Oh.
I'm not going to get home in an hour though. That's the problem. Never mind. I'll see if it's on the website tomorrow.
If you put your foot. No. If you can't. Oh,
no.
You know. He's a maverick. He'll say, drive at 70 miles an hour if he needs to get somewhere quickly. $21.95 for 2 strands of gorgeous aquamarine there. Again, only available at that price for the next 60 minutes. Normally, the moss aquamarine alone is $14.95. So that means you're getting this faceted variety for £7. That's amazing, isn't it?
Gosh.
And of course, March's birthstone, again, it's another opportunity potentially to create masculine jewellery designs. Birthstone jewellery is not as easy to create for the gents, I wouldn't say. Actually, even a macrame bracelet.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
those.
Yeah.
Perfect. There you go. So if you just create loads of macrame bracelets, paracord bracelets, cufflinks, and chainmail,
You'll be all right.
then you can.
Okay.
I'll be all right. No, I was thinking you won't have to sell it all, like you were saying earlier.
That's right. That's
there
right.
you go. Okay, we're going to have to move on from that deal. Are we trying to... I wasn't stopping Mark from using his phone if he wanted to go outside.
No,
I'm getting in
that's
trouble. Somebody said that, just let Mark go outside and order it. I'm happy to let Mark go and use his phone. No problem. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay. Oh, yes. Have a look at this. I fell in love with this earlier. I spotted it, but I've only got single figures available.
It's massive.
It's huge. 40 by 30 mil. Charoite. The thing I love about Charoite is it gives you the amethyst purples that people are in love with. All the designers tell me it's their favourite colour tone, and yet you get the banding, you get the opaque finish, and much larger single carat weights, don't you? 50 carats.
In summer, I had a kit that had a Charoite cabochon in that was 10mm by 15mm. And
I think I remember that kit. We
Yeah.
were pretty excited by it then,
yeah,
weren't we?
I know. And it really the price of the kit up because it's such a rare stone. So
Imagine getting 50 carats in one droplet. Oh, single figures are already starting to be allocated. We're going to have to bring the price on. It's $19.95 for 50 carats.
wow.
So some 50p a carat for Charoite. And of course, when you
my
get the
word.
carat weight in one individual stone, that normally, like you say, drives the price
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Amazing
word.
value. In your experience, is Charoite a gemstone that people are aware of?
No, not at all.
So
Not
it's
at
very
all.
rare. So you are
No.
introduced.
I don't
to
have any. I don't have any.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I don't have any.
So
How rare is it? I mean, we hardly ever see it. do
We don't see it very often here at Jewellery
No.
Maker. I think there are. When we find deposits, I think they tend to be sizable, but we don't find them very often. I think that's what the
Tell a
problem
lot. I
is.
have a strand of chips,
Okay.
but that's the only other way that I've actually seen them.
But
That's
polished
just
cabochons, that's
beautiful.
a little bit different, isn't it?
Oh my word, that's incredible.
I mean, imagine a cuff bangle with that in the centre. I mean, the price point for that would be
Phenomenal, wouldn't
very considered, yeah. I love the banding as well. It's like a
it?
well.
I think which colour wire I'd put. It'd have to be silver wire, I think, for
Yeah,
me.
silver and purple.
Yeah.
Fantastic combination.
God, it's incredible.
Amazing deal. 50 carats of Charoite, 40 by 30 mil for $19.95. Amazing deal. How many of these have you got? Had this on the show last week. I think Scott was producing the show. It's when you were a bit poorly, Liam, the start of the week, and Scott stepped into the helm, and I'll tell you what, we had 50 remaining in stock for about 2 minutes.
Did he put it at a silly price, did he?
I think it was just the price point for it, in fact. You just put it on screen, and he couldn't keep up. The quantity was going out the door quicker than he could chip it off screen. We had 50. We've got a similar stock. It was a different variety. It was the normal oval link chain. This is the Figaro chain, which is actually probably even more in demand, actually.
Gold plated.
It's gold plated copper chain. So the beauty of it is the base metal keeps the price low, but the gold plated adds value, and then you've got the Figaro links as well. Start dialing the free phone number immediately if you want to add this to your order. 10 metre length of Figaro chain should be $29.95. Another hefty saving this evening. $21.95.
I'd love to know how they make chain.
Yeah, it does seem quite an intense process, because when you actually see them just with like molten precious metals, it looks quite hard. But then to create such fine links, I mean,
That move and they separate.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite incredible actually. We
It
take
is,
all this for
isn't it?
granted, I think,
oh,
don't we?
I think we're really blasé about what we do here on Jewellery Maker. I mean, that's why I get so shocked by the pricing. I know that when people watch for the first time, they think, yeah, all right, mate, whatever.
Yeah.
But when people come to workshops, they're shocked because they think like, oh, they really are in love with gemstones. They really can't believe it. And of course, for Lucy and Carol and Vicky and myself, we all used to work on Gems TV, so we
right,
know the prices that we used to charge for very small carat weights of gemstones. I know there's sometimes a very different finish, although when you look at them organised, not that different.
No.
So it is shocking to us to see these items at such incredible prices. I mean, 16-inch length of chain, gold plated, I used to do for £40, and now £21.95 for a 10 minute. Okay, I'm going to go over, have a look what Mark's been doing throughout the show. Because in fact, Mark will look pretty for a second while I grab the rest of his designs, because they're all still on my desk. Guest designer, Mark.
Let me have a look at this.
Janet, our good friend, has sent you a text message.
Oh, you're an
So
absolute
can have the
star.
Marsacre
Thank you
already.
very much. Oh, how kind is that? Thank
That's
you, Janet.
amazing.
Thank you very much. That's really kind.
Oh no, Jan was watching and I said all those things
You did,
about her.
yeah. No, thank you,
They
that's
were
really
all
kind. Thank
complimentary.
you very much. Thank you.
Victoria has also texted you to say, I pay for extra channels if you get my drift, but watching you both is the best TV ever. You are really entertaining. Good show.
Thank you very much.
Victoria, you can come back. I love it. Wow, Mark was very, very busy this evening, and not just in terms of creating this huge array of jewellery, but also fantastic insights into selling your designs, different colour combinations, that kind of thing as well. So thank you, Mark.
Pleasure,
this
absolute
evening.
pleasure. It's been good fun.
Very inspirational. And lots of amazing deals. So we have producer Liam to thank for us, and I would say executive producer Martha as well. Thanks to all the team for putting together the show, and I didn't realise we've had so much fun that we've pretty much ran out of time. So this is all Mark's jewellery. It will be photographed. Thank you for joining us. In fact, thank you and good night.